What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a very special podcast. It's Dan on location, putting the D in D23 here in Walt Disney World at WDW. There's so many D's and W's and Dan's. It's the weekend of D23. I stayed up until 1 o'clock in the morning watching a 3-hour bloated musical celebration that was theme park news. Every time it got to a point where like I turned off my YouTube stream just to be like, all right, I'll go ride a ride or something here at Universal Studios because it's taking another 25 minutes to learn anything new about news. With me, as always, we'll talk about it. With me, as always, is my number one radio podcast producer, Mr. Nathan Hartman. Hello, sir.
Oh, hello, Daniel. Yes, you've been out in a boot. And you're currently in Rob Plays Studios.
Yeah, I'm currently cosplaying as Rob Plays. I do that sometimes. If you a couple of
Florida base,
yeah, a Florida base of operations.
Yeah.
There's been a couple of Disney Dan videos where I have been in Rob's office, and it's great. And people know, they see Rob's bookshelf, they know it's my way of keeping, it's like my Rob Plays Horcrux, occasionally coming and filming here. It keeps his YouTube spirit alive. You know what I mean?
If you were to murder someone, what you would do is all you'd have to do is fake the background. Just create Rob's background. And you're like, clearly I was in Florida.
Zoom does that instantly.
I know.
That's just a setting.
Right.
Yeah.
So you could be there.
My
you
alibi.
Could be murdering somebody.
It does look like I'm being green screened right now, if I'm being honest. That's fair.
Yeah.
It's a good alibi. I need to get a good clean slate. Hold on, let me roll out of here so you can.
There you go. Get a good clean slate. Yep.
There we go. Okay,
now
there
you're
we
ready.
go.
Now you're ready for a murder.
There we go. Speaking of murder, $45 tacos and drinks at, let me just say, Attractions Magazine, Matt, hats off to you, man. You're one of the hardest working guys out there when it comes to theme park news.
Yeah,
and
man.
God bless you for taking the bullet of a $45 taco platter.
Let's look at this. Let's look at this taco platter.
Salute to you, Matt. I love it. I hope that those three Ortega, Cisco, not even Ortega, it's Cisco brand, generic, white labeled, stadium food is whatever. Disney knew they were doing, man, when it came to nickel and dime this D23.
Yeah.
I'll say that much.
We'll talk. We got plenty to talk about. By the way, that's about 50, and I'm not counting the drink. The drink counts in here, but that's $15 a taco, just so we're clear, if you don't count the drink.
$15. Let's dab. $15 a taco.
I forgot how to dab. I'm tired still, and I did this.
That's okay. You dab like a college professor, and that's exactly what we want from you.
Yes.
So I love, and I really want to make a meme, and perhaps, when you watch this podcast and you look at my Instagram and you see this meme, you'll be like, oh, that's where Dan talked about this meme. I want the picture that Guy Selga put up of like the mountain of trash outside of security of D23, where they forced everyone to like pour out their snacks, pour out their drinks, pour out their goldfish and their granola
right
bars.
Here. Yeah.
Oh, you got it. You have that photo.
Baby, I'm producing like hell. I'm so good at my job.
Oh my gosh. That photo, that tweet next to Matt's tweet about the $45 tacos,
yes.
And I'll be like, that's D23 wrapped up in one beautiful comparison. You know what I mean? If you ask, just the corporate greed of it all. I'm not talking about the news. I'm just talking about like the milking of the fans. And truly, there was some milking. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How do I put this? How do I put this gently? There are some people I've seen on Twitter and other places that are like, oh, I'm here and like I'm crying, I'm so excited, and like, oh my god, and like, oh, Josh Tomorrow, mother, and I'm like, y'all got ripped off. You realize that you paid for a commercial.
Yeah,
like,
they did pay for a commercial. They did.
You can put as many BIM plats or whatever you want into it. It's still a commercial,
right? And I just want to say that Parks Panel got really cheaped out when it came to celebrity appearances versus the movie panel. We couldn't have spread out the love a little bit when it came to celebrity appearances. You gave us John Stamos. We're so tired of John Stamos. I got John Stamos at home. You know what I mean?
Everybody got Greek yogurt under their chair because of Stamos. That's how it worked.
Yeah, well, everyone got
They paid him in a
Activia.
hitchhiking ghost.
Everyone got Activia the night before because Jamie Lee Curtis was there. So, and that's all I'm saying. Jamie Lee Curtis is ours now. She's a theme park representative. She is Madame Leota. Freaky Friday yourself over to our presentation. Come on.
Look. I want to just make a point here. So Ben Platt, who is Walt Disney's son, and that's why he was there. Just so everyone's clear. That's the only reason.
Was Ben Platt at the presentation?
Wasn't it? Was it Ben Platt? I'm trying to remember.
Austin Butler, Skylar Butler, Austin.
No. Who's the guy from
Pitch Perfect?
No, Ben Platt. I'm right. Ben Platt.
Okay.
Right? Ben Platt.
I'll be honest. I was watching it while I was watching this whole stream while writing Cat in the Hat. So,
That's
maybe
an
Ben
insane
Platt
way
was
to live
there.
your life.
Yeah.
I think it was Ben Platt who was one of the two men dancing and telling us stuff. Our showmen.
Very possible. Very possible.
But by the way, we're just starting out. I crack another. Ooh, that's some good audio right there. Just cracking open a Virgil's.
What is a Virgil's?
A zero sugar root beer.
Whoa, we love root beer here.
We love root beer here.
We stand root beer.
Of all shapes and sizes. So here's the thing. I said they were doing their little show, which was like, wow, wow, wow. I don't know if you saw that part. They had two gentlemen.
Yes,
and they were like, wah, wah, wah. And
like
I
an opening of the
said,
Tonys number.
I said, is this the Oscars? Are we
Yes.
doing the Oscars?
It felt like the Oscars.
And then I tweeted that Billy Crystal's gonna literally bust out of the wall like the Kool-Aid Man. And my God, am I clairvoyant? I think it's important that everyone understands that I'm a psychic.
I'd just like to correct you for a moment. You X'd. You did not tweet. You X'd your prediction.
That's a good point.
I just
That's
want
a
to make
good
sure
point.
that everyone
Valid
I want
point.
to make sure that everyone understands.
I don't
that
want to confuse
you were
people.
Xing out
Yeah.
there. Twitter's dead. How dare you?
So I don't know, man. I'm pretty happy with the I'm pretty happy with the Chromeo. I love the band Chromeo, and I do love Billy Crystal, and that's kind of enough for me.
Yeah,
everyone loves Shabuzi. I didn't even know there was a Shabuzi.
Shabuzi,
which was a band.
I forgot
apparently.
we got Billy Crystal. I forgot.
Shabuzi, the girl who's hard to get.
Before we talk about the presentation and the news and whatnot, should we talk about the actual expo itself?
I think so. I think that's a good call.
There were two big prominent booths, right?
I think so.
Which booth should we talk about first?
Let's start with Pandora.
As far as booths go. Yeah, Pandora's amazing. The highlight of the entire booth for me is this right here. This is a guy from Animax, the company that's made all of Disney's puppets and like articulated heads. They are really, really cool. And that dude right there, his name is Michael Schupak. He built the first professional puppets I used off Broadway at a little company called Puppet Kitchen. He did very well, got scooped up by Animax, and he's been there ever since making puppets, and he's a legend. I really love this guy, and this is a really amazing design. Compare this, and I just off the top of my head now, but if you compare this to like the dragon at Universal Studios Japan for Harry Potter, or you compare this to Universal Studios Raptor.
What about Mossy? Do you count Mossy in there?
Mossy's are really Mossy's on our side of things. I'm talking about comparing how Universal does things and how Disney does things.
Right.
This is very smart because the hand is up like underneath, like cradling the beast, so you can hold the fake hand to support your arm without looking like you're choking the dragon, like because the puppet's heavy and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how heavy this thing is. Instead, you have this really lightweight thing that you can like hold and support in the similar ways that like you could with Figment. And with how they do the Raptor in the Jurassic Park area, this is very well done. I'm so hyped for this. I'm surprised that there wasn't more Pandora like teasing in terms of meet and greets. But this is a good first step, I think.
Yeah, we'll see. I think this is an easy thing to put in lots of different places, and I hope they do it
for sure. It'll come to Disney World. It'll probably be on the cruise ships, for crying out loud.
Yeah, why not? And then there's TVA, right? Is that the other one you want to talk about?
Yeah, the TVA booth was really wild. You got Miss Minutes. You have all of these. Open TVA gates. You have an interactive Rocket Raccoon. which I will put money on the fact that bad boy is going to be on the Destiny cruise ship at minimum. At minimum, I know they won't probably mix sauces with like the tower at Disneyland because that's a whole different rocket story. But where there is not a Guardians presence, Disney will be able to drop ship one there overnight to put a rocket in there. A guy could be sitting in his living room on Zoom operating this, for crying out loud, and it could go off flawlessly.
He's a better rocket than Cosmic. I was surprised. It took a while for me to, because you get that. Hey, it's me, Rocket.
Yeah. Because it's Bradley Cooper's what? It's like his Staten Island, his Long Island accent. Like, what is it? What is Bradley Cooper trying to accomplish when he does Rocket?
I thought you were going to say that it's done by Bradley Cooper's brother, kind of like Tom Hanks.
Yeah,
it's Radley Cooper.
Radley Cooper, right. Radley does all of the toys and theme park integrations.
I'm Radley Cooper, but this is my actual voice.
It sounds just like him, though. You can't barely tell the difference.
That's good.
No, this was a good raccoon. I liked it. He was pretty funny. I had a good time with this one. He was really chewing the scenery. I loved it. I love the idea of, and it's kind of similar to how I operate as a business. Like, oh my God, a portal just ripped open in your living room, and now here I was just eating nachos, and now I gotta yell at you? Okay, fine, whatever. Here I am. All right, get out of here. That's what I do for a living.
Yeah.
Through a glowing portal that you open up.
I am excited. I am excited for an actual. I mean, I guess that's what I'm doing is sort of a turtle talk with Dan all the time on this.
You are doing a turtle talk with Dan. Yeah. Radical, dude.
There's also the Mickey one, which I did not get a photo of. But
yo, the Mickey one is janky. I've seen VR rigs that are better than this thing.
Yeah.
I've seen VR rigs 5 years ago of like Mickey Mouse at Disney World, like the whole costume Mickey Mouse. My one buddy does it. He's incredible compared to this. What? I guess it's just a tech demo, and I shouldn't criticize it.
For those who don't know, it's exactly like the Rocket one, except it's bad.
Except it looks like a middle school. Okay, no, Dan, don't do it. It looks like a middle school snap. Like if a middle school had like a after school class where like make a Snapchat filter. You know, and you learn how to program a Snapchat, or like your local maker center has like a learn Blender and Snapchat filters. And you got in there, and like a 75-year-old guy is like, all right, here's how you rig a model.
My favorite part was someone was talking to it, and she was like, "I'm a little nervous," and then it said back to her, "Oh, don't be nervous, little buddy. It's just me." And I was like, "No, it's not you. It's not. It doesn't. No,
I'm a little nervous.
I'm getting long legs off you, and I don't like it. I don't want it.
Right.
I don't want it.
I'm feeling like Moses, and you're the burning bush, and I'm suspicious. This is not, and it's talking. The bush is talking. Should I listen, or am I crazy?"
I think that was it booth-wise. I mean, there's not... there's stuff, but...
Couple great photo ops, lots of great cosplay, lots of great exclusive merch. I guess.
Cosplay.
I don't know.
We can go through some cosplay.
We got some from the masquerades, right?
Oh, no, I just picked some of my faves.
Oh, great. Show me your faves. I can't wait to see.
Okay, so here we go. Let's see here. We're going to start with...
this is what I live for.
This one, which is the red and white light bulb. At whatchamacallit, Casey's Corner.
When I first saw this cosplay, I'm going to be honest with you, my ADD brain was like, is she trying to do a weird like Disney park like lamp from A Christmas Story? Like, because I only saw one leg.
That's a great point.
I was like, that's my mental illness, guys. Is trying to make sense of things that Dan doesn't understand. This is so funny to me. It's great, and the little white piano purse is like chef's kiss. Great work, guys. Beautiful.
I'm for it. I do also enjoy the cups that are it's the classic Buzz and Woody in Pizza Planet material.
They should
sneaking.
Cosplay like this is genius, but it raises a question for me.
Yes.
You waited in line wearing that to get into the building for like 90 minutes. There should be like a premium. You pay an extra $200. You have to show up in an elaborate costume, but it's like you can fast pass past the queue because let's be honest, D23, you benefit Disney in general benefits massively from these gorgeous costumes that show up, homemade, you know what I mean, suited Disney cosplay that like is just iconic and legendary. This stuff makes your con like soar in terms of its value. These guys should be taken care of in some way, shape, or form because this is magnificent. I wish that I would have gotten a premium costume inside the Cuppin. Like, I wish it wasn't just like a Walmart Buzz and Woody costume. I wish that we had like, like they would have.
But
like
I don't blame them in the sense that like it's hot in that thing.
No, right. But I'll take it. I mean, it's a little, it's homemade, but it's homemade with love. Now the question: can you fill the burger thing with merch as you buy throughout the day?
Oh, now we're talking.
That's the question. Because if that's the case, we need to Shark Tank this because this could be the con box.
You just open it.
You open it when you want to interact with people. Then otherwise, you clamshell yourself back in, and you stay safe with your merchandise.
I don't think that needs to just be a merchandise thing. I think we could have made money during COVID on this one. I think it's just a little supernova burger clump box. We'd be good to go.
Do you want to live in a gigantic soda cup and breathe through the straw? Snorkel time, baby.
Snorkel time, baby. I appreciate when people go to the links of this next one, which is Woody's Roundup in full paint, and they are in black and white. And I appreciate the amount of work.
Nice. I like this a lot. For those of you who don't know, they actually have over in Paris, the Disneyland in Paris, their Golden Horseshoe has a Woody's Roundup. It might be a Diamond Horseshoe Gold. It's a horseshoe of some sort. Their replica horseshoe.
Platinum, but what
platinum
anniversary
horseshoe,
is platinum?
Whatever.
Plastic is a plastic horseshoe.
The ruby horseshoe, the baguette horseshoe. But there they have a Woody and a Jessie and a Bullseye in sepia tone. The whole costume is. And so this is very inspired. This feels very cool.
Yes.
This feels very like, WandaVision. It feels like really, really neat.
It's really cool. And I as someone who does not like putting tons of makeup, I don't like makeup at all. Makeup is fine for stage makeup purposes, but like I'm going to paint my face a different color. I can't. I hate it. I hate that stuff. And so
you'd be a terrible Elphaba.
No, but I would be bad. There would be no. Yeah, I'm not defying gravity at all.
No.
With green paint. This next one is a friend of mine, Courtney, and she had two great ones, but this was my favorite. This might be one of my favorites of the whole con, which is French Girl from Living with the Land.
I want to say that I feel like I paved the way for this. Okay. Because I'm going to take ownership of this. It's great. I'm going to take ownership of it because I lived in the land for 12 hours and I invited some of my close friends to party with me. And in that time, a dear friend and international theme park newsbreaker Alicia Stella arrived dressed expertly like
I remember this
sassy tomato girl, and it blew up. Everyone loved it. I think that paved. I'm just saying it paved the way. Alicia Stella ran so that this fine cosplayer could run.
It's
faster.
Yeah, let's put Alicia in there because I'm not sure how good our click is going to go if you as a man are going to stand here saying that you're taking ownership of French Girl design.
Yeah. Well,
this was mine. This was mine.
I did this. I just want to say that I did this. I love theme park. I love any creator who just takes bold ownership of things. Which I feel like that's just, I don't do that enough. So, and I feel like that's our job now is to just take bold ownership of things. And so that's me, baby.
Why not?
Why not?
I wish I had ownership of this next one, which is a beautiful Sunny Eclipse puppet, which is very, very gorgeous and wonderful.
Yes. I know her. She's fantastic. I love the key earring, by the way. I believe her name's Taran. The Sunny Eclipse puppet, inspired all the way down to, and I took a minute and I like zoomed in on this puppet at a couple shots, and it's good because I've taken a puppet to a con and they're very popular. Puppets at cons are super popular, and they did a bang up job here. My goodness, what an amazing puppet! Yeah,
if you go to her Twitter, you can see all her like making of stuff because the molding and the work to put this in. I also love this other puppet that was there. Let's have more puppets. I love this anxiety puppet from Inside Out 2. This thing is gorgeous.
It's really nice. Really gorgeous.
In a different universe, we would have an Inside Out puppet show somewhere. at a Disney park?
There was an Inside Out puppet show at Disney California Adventure as a parade unit. There was
as a parade
Inside
unit.
Out.
Yeah, I remember that.
But they were puppets, which was actually very cool, and it was inspired. The puppets were gorgeous, and they translated so well. And so this clearly, I mean, Pixar characters translate so well as puppets.
Yeah.
So kudos, because this is
the feathers,
a knockout.
It's really, really good. And not the only anxiety that we saw at the con. In fact,
no, this wasn't real, is it? I know what you're about to show me.
No, this is
what
real. This
is
real.
going on. No,
the dog from Inside Out 2, and then anxiety. But anxiety looks more like someone you would have to shoot at in the video game Doom, I think.
Yeah, no. The anxiety looks like one of the Ren and Stimpy close-ups.
Yeah,
you know those vintage like gruesome or a SpongeBob close-up. You know,
show.
Yeah, it is
nightmare.
It gives me anxiety looking at it.
It's very bad in a good way. I don't want to. Let me put it like that. Like, this is done intentionally this way.
to be a real horror show. Oh my gosh. This looks like how they make horror movies out of Winnie the Pooh and stuff like that.
Yep.
If they were to do a horror Inside Out,
100%.
This would be the low budget and that's not a bad thing. This is very well
it
done.
looks it's a well crafted thing for being a real freak.
What D23 never stop.
My favorite is for last. This has been my favorite for a few years. It continues to be my favorite, and that is this man as Wayne Sininsky, holding the entire audience from Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. Which
I've seen him a few times now, and it's always a joy.
My guy looks like Rick Moranis over here. So
I mean, he does. He looks like I would love to see him as wearing the Ghostbusters colander. Thing. Like, I think that'd be I'm sure he has it in his arsenal. I'm sure it's already done. He
wears
the
it to
gatekeeper.
Moranis Con. We all know.
Yeah, he's the key master. The Moranis Con, is that
Moranis
a thing?
Con. Oh, sure. If it's not, we're going to make it.
We'll make $1 million.
I'd love a Moranis Con.
Everyone
Ryan
just
Reynolds
come
will sponsor it. Mint Mobile, sponsor a Moranis Con.
Right. Call us Yellow Shoes. This is great. This guy is great. I love it.
Okay, so that's all of our little cosplay. We're going to talk the first night first. And we don't need to go into a ton of detail because we're sort of more theme parky, but there's just a lot of stuff.
Run me through it. Hit me.
Okay, but
get my hot takes.
We're going to get hot takes. Hot. Here we go. Here's Dan on hot takes. Win or lose TV series, it's finally coming out. They showed a trailer. I think it looks pretty great. I like Will Forte a lot when doing animation
This
work,
is the Pixar sports show, right?
Yeah, but it seems to be sort of more than that. It seems to be a real kind of bendy, twisty, heightened thing. So
yeah, it looks fun. I can't wait. Pixar's first produced TV series.
Yep.
Apparently, Monsters at Work is garbage. Apparently, Forky has feelings, and Carl's up, and all these things that they've done before get bent. This is our first TV show.
I really liked Forky Asked a Question. That was back in the day when we thought Disney Plus was going to be worth the money. And we're like, we're going to get a Forky Asked a Question every month.
Right,
it's just
every month.
Forever.
I'm only going to pay $3 to hear it.
Yeah. Thank you, Tony Hale. But no. Dream Productions is a new Inside Out show coming to Disney Plus. I think this is also going to be done by Pixar. And why not? I don't have a problem with this. I don't know anything else about it, but
Yeah, it felt like the teaser for this is actually very short, all things considered. We don't have... But it just, honestly, it makes a ton of sense. It doesn't even have to be Riley-centric. It could be... every episode could be in someone else's head, for all I care. A new adventure. And we know the characters are the same characters in every head, but just have them get into different adventures, you know? I would love a concept of a show that instead of like a monster of a week, it's like instead of an anthology where it's like a new story every season, give me a new story every episode, you know?
Give me a new kid, yeah.
Yeah, a new kid every episode. I would love that.
Oh, that would be really
cool.
fun. I mean, we spent a little bit of time in dream production before. I do sort of like that vibe. I'm curious if they're going to do some kind of like Hollywood tropey stuff for fun. That could be interesting.
Right. And also, is it pre-puberty Riley dreams or post-puberty Riley dreams? I need to know. We need to know.
There are two separate studios for those dreams.
Right. No, I just need to know if it's going to be all love and games or if it's going to be grueling anxiety. Yeah. Because, I need to know if it's what the show's going to be. Is it going to be about her and terrible, crippling... Because this girl has some troubles. Yeah. Or is it going to be about the joy of, broccoli, ew.
I don't know. You'll have to ask Forky.
I saw also that they used the Apple Watch Toy Story animations to preview and debut Toy Story 5 as the next big Pixar movie.
We have a photo of Toy Story 5, which is all the toys being really pissed off at Fortnite. That is the image that we have. I assume that's Riley. That looks like her room.
Not Riley, the kid, the other kid.
Who's? Oh yeah, sorry, Riley's the
Riley's Inside Out.
Inside Out. Oh my God,
I forget her name. I don't know her name, but yeah, it's definitely her. And it's toys versus versus Can't wait to see what this is. Great.
I couldn't care. I really, truly am done. Like I'm done with the series. Like,
well, it's becoming the Land Before Time in a weird way. Like,
yeah,
like it's becoming and I know the Buzz Lightyear spinoff didn't work, but like that's because you tried too hard in a weird direction. Just give me like a Ham and Slinky Dog spinoff if you're going to give me more Toy Story movies. You know what I mean? Do the Fast and the Furious model where like we start to go into other like directions, and it's not like the same like like. Have Forky get thrown away and end up in a garbage dump, like for real, by accident. Yeah. And like, it's just Forky's new adventures, like I don't know, man. Just, Forky through Dante's Inferno.
Man, I don't know about you. I think Toy Story 4 is better than Toy Story 3. I am a rarity on this point. Mostly because Toy Story 4 ends Woody's journey, which is what the show is about.
Right.
Whereas 3 is an ensemble thing and very much like I look back at 3 and it feels very like Andy's too old. We got to figure out a way to do, like, what are we going to do now? And
right.
It feels like that weird, like, Marvel movie you watch and you go, wait, was the whole purpose so you could just like transition to a new team? Is that the whole thing? And it kind of is.
Yeah. The 4th is a transition movie in series, I guess.
Yeah. And look, I people are like, well, why is Woody back with everybody? Because Woody knows where they live. Like he can just pop by. That they make that clear in the in credits.
Woody knows how to use Google Maps. He can get there.
Yeah, and like I don't know, but like also Disney panty pots. Like why can't just like bring Bo Peep back and then not have Bo Peep? So we'll see what happens there. Yeah, man, I don't know. It's like
Bo Peep not being in the story doesn't bother me at all. She's still out there on the road, helping recruit like lost toys or whatever
and stuff. Yeah.
You know what? Bo Peep is totally the Furiosa of Toy Story. Yeah. That is so true. Mm-hmm. Just out there saving lives, literally has smearing black paint across her face.
Literally lost a limb.
Truly lost a limb.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about the guy behind We Bare Bears on this next Pixar movie, Hoppers.
Yeah.
It's these kind of weird plot synopsis of like a girl who puts her brain in the brain of a beaver
a robot beaver.
To understand the life of beavers. Like that is a sentence I never thought I'd hear, and that's exactly what movie I want from Pixar.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it's another Toy Story movie from Pixar. No. I want to hear we're exploring robot beavers now. Perfect.
Yeah,
perfect.
Great. I love it. I have no issue with this. This looks like a lot of fun, and it's coming from people that are kind of outside of the Pixar mold. And honestly, there used to be a time where I think we thought being in the company was a smart move to getting cool ideas. And I think they are so smushed with Disney now and so industried that they really got to bring people from outside to get creative. And I think there's a groupthink at Pixar a little bit. And I don't know. I think that I
like that they're stretching out. I like that they went to a Cartoon Network guy.
Yeah,
you got to. You have to try some new things,
especially since Cartoon Network is like not a thing. So
yeah. And you got to try new things when you're Pixar because you're busy trying old things, like the next movie they announced, Incredibles 3.
This is the only sequel I care about.
Which picks up exactly the moment when Incredibles 2 ends.
Yeah, totally. I'm a firm believer that trilogies are great. I like a trilogy. It's a nice little package. I think I always wanted that for Incredibles. This works for me. I don't need 4 or 5 or 6 or 9. I just want a nice little 3. You can have that, I guess. It's when you get crazy.
Yeah, but what you haven't heard is that it's a multiverse movie about how the Incredibles meet other versions of themselves.
Let me pitch you what my Incredibles 3 story was. I actually wrote a screenplay as a dissertation that was not an Incredibles thing, but I realized later on it could be. It actually takes place years later. My story was called Villain-in-Law, and it was about a superhero and a villain realizing that their daughter and son were getting married and then having to get along during a
that would make a great Incredibles.
I think so
story.
too. Like, just let Violet get married.
Very campy in that it would be in like the 70s, you know, at that point, like style wise. I mean, essentially it's what the Minions are doing.
Yeah.
The Minions like figured out, oh, we could do mid-century. Oh, now we'll do 70s. Oh, we'll do disco.
Yeah.
Minions are really milking all the generational stuff, but I'm excited to see Incredibles 3.
Yeah,
Who
sure.
knows?
Whatever. It's Brad Bird.
You know,
as long as there's a singular vision, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. And then we head over to Disney Animation from Pixar, right? To Elio.
Yes.
The movie X-Files, the cartoon.
I'm excited
for this.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of like mixed messages about the production of this. Apparently it's been a little messy. So we'll see.
Welcome to Disney cartoons, baby. Everything's a little messy.
Yeah.
But I love it. It feels like, and I love when movies do this, it kind of feels like Baby's First Contact, you know, like starring Jodie Foster. Was it Jodie Foster?
Yes.
It was. And Matthew McConaughey, I believe so. Yeah.
Yes.
Masterpiece. What a masterpiece at work. And if there's a Pixar version of Contact, I'm here for it, honestly. I love aliens. I love UFOs. I love the beam, you know, like the beam that beams you up.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like not a Scotty beam. I'm talking like a real beam.
Real Close Encounters of the Third Kind beam.
I love a lamp that's like a UFO with like a cow floating. Oh, yeah. And you like a bedside. I love it all. Give me aliens and kids.
What's your opinion on Alf?
I love Alf.
Yeah, who doesn't love Alf?
I will not tell the story. We'll just skip over it.
I'm very excited
have an Alf story
later.
I have an Alf story. No, because you're going to get mad at me because we don't even have a guest. And my Spanish teacher would show us episodes of Alf in Spanish in middle school.
Right. I think you told me
in high
that.
school. Yeah. And so, we've already talked about it on the podcast. Anyway, Elio, it looks fun. It looks fun.
What else we got? We got Moana
2.
Tuana.
A last-ditch effort to take a TV series we had almost done and turn into a movie.
Yeah.
I love that.
What could go wrong?
I really hope that we eventually see the TV cut of this season of the movie. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but like maybe an art book will kind of take us down the direction of like what stories were left behind, what art was done. Because I'm sure there's a lot of art that was made for this that is now will never see the light of day.
Do you have to pay Dwayne Johnson more money if you told him it was a Disney Plus show and then you make it a movie for release? My guess is
no.
No,
I don't think so. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson makes a bunch of money from Disney not being a voice anymore. Now his production company just makes stuff for Disney.
Yeah.
This is like this. Dwayne just shows up for 2 days of work. One day of work, maybe. Says like his 27 lines that you really total up in the movie.
Yeah.
You know, it's not much.
We got more Dwayne coming up.
Yeah. Oh, don't we? I'm actually kind of excited to talk about that. But we have Zootopia 2.
Zootopia.
Quick, let's pivot from being a cop. Let's pivot from having them wear cop outfits.
No more cops.
Yeah. Zootopia 2, detectives.
I'm fine with
Detectives are different than cops, man.
I like it. I hope they're jaded. I mean, they would be.
Yeah, they're animals.
Yeah.
I hope that they address that their allegory. I hope that they address that their metaphor really falls apart the more you think about it.
Don't think about it.
And that you can't think about it, and it's not you can't use animals and like predator instincts as like as a conversation piece about like race. And the X-Men already did it great, guys. Let's.
I find Zootopia immensely enjoyable for the fact that it is the weirdest attempt at a story about race possible, I think.
Yeah, you know what? I completely agree.
Yeah.
It is like a Tommy Wiseau type of like, let's figure out the weirdest way to talk about race relations.
Yes.
Oh, I know. Yeah. What if he gets a big popsicle and he melts it into a lot of smaller popsicles?
Yeah.
Wait, what does this have to do about race? We're getting there. He's a predator, you see. He takes big things and makes them little.
Now, we've made this point before, but ACAB, all cops are bunnies.
All cops are bunnies. Yep.
And
especially in Zootopia.
Yeah, in Zootopia. So that's fine. Whatever.
I would love if Judy Hopps in this movie, maybe we save it for Zootopia 3. Yellow Shoes called me. I'm about to pitch you a great scene. But Judy eventually comes upon a full bunny police force. Ooh. Like she eventually finds a police.
The Long Patrol from Redwall. I don't know if you know
what is this.
Oh, you don't know about Redwall?
No, is this like a Game of Thrones thing?
No, well, it's a young adult British book series about rabbits and mice that live in an old abbey in Britain, and they have large feasts. And one of them has a.
Well, there you go.
We're gonna have to have a whole episode about Redwall, my man, because it's
great. I can't wait to get caught up on it.
Yeah,
but it would be fun for Judy to discover a bunny patrol.
Oh yeah,
and she'd be like, oh wait, I am a good cop.
I'm a good cop,
or whatever. And then, just in case you weren't cold enough from Frozen 2, Elsa, Ice God. I don't know how we escalate. Is Elsa going to kill Jesus? Like, what is going to happen?
I mean, clearly, she's literally going into the clouds in this concept art we're looking at. Like, she is going to heaven to kill Christ.
Right, yeah, like that's the kingdom of heaven, and Elsa's going to slay God. What is? Also, will they answer the question? Is she immortal now? Because that's my real question. Is she going to watch her sister like age and die as her timeless snowman?
Ice melts, baby. She's got less time on Earth.
She's not Frosty the Snowman, bro. Global warming, if anything, is keeping
someday. her. Well, here's the thing. So those listening via audio, please look at this concept art. If the movie looked like this, I would be so much more excited about it. I find the 3D animation style of Frozen to be pretty. It's the Disney version of the DreamWorks look, it's the Rapunzel. It's that Rapunzel animation. I don't go for it. This
and there's nothing very unique of Disney, but this looks
is
like
Mary
Cinderella
Blair stuff, man.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. So
we won't see this though.
Whatever. It's fine. So there's. I had some depressive thoughts.
That concept art has two mysterious figures in the clouds. Did you see it?
Yeah, and there's one in the back too. There's they said that the concept art might not even have all the people. They don't they were these people might not have anything to do with this.
I was just having brunch. Yes. With my dear friend Rob, who I'm in his home right now, and he's like, Tratiel Vorno, and he's like, listen. Epic Universe rolls out and they have interviews with the team. They're showing concept art. Yeah. They're in the buildings where the work is happening. Yeah. They have fly-throughs of renders, and Disney has an executive standing in front of one image being like, this is what's coming, maybe. I don't know.
Well, we got
$45 tacos.
This morning we got some models. So we'll talk about, we're going to look at some models too. We have some more firm shovels and dirt to talk about later.
Let's run through Disney films though, live action films.
Yeah.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is partnering with Feld Entertainment's Monster Jam truck shows to make a feature film called Monster Jam with The Rock. This is a monster truck movie that is I don't know what it is, and I respect Feld because Feld Entertainment's keeping monster trucks alive, man. They're keeping it moving, and so this feels like an interesting kind of injection into live arena stuff with The Rock's potential with The Rock's crowd power with WWE or F or whatever it's called. So this feels like a vertical integration of similar alignments, but it's going to be interesting where it goes. Very interesting where it goes.
I had this thought, which was, it's weird that they've not had a monster truck run through a city in Fast and Furious. So my guess is that's the plan here. We're going to take these off road, baby. These gonna crush some cars.
Oh yeah. This is the rampage of monster truck movies.
Do you remember?
You know what I mean?
Do you remember the guy who played the new MacGyver was in a movie where a truck was a monster? Do you remember this weird movie that came out?
No,
a couple years ago. It had
I also don't know about the new MacGyver either. So I guess
CBS made a whole new MacGyver series.
Man, I do not watch CBS television anymore.
No, you're not 85 years old.
Right.
No, when they said this, my first thought was is this that? Like a monster in a truck? No, I don't think so. I don't think that's what they're doing. They're doing full on
monster truck.
I think this is going to have sort of Fall Guy stuntman vibes in the sense of like we're going to talk about stuntmen, like, or we're going to talk about monster truck drivers.
Monster truck drivers, yeah. And it also there's also already a Dwayne The Rock Johnson monster truck in use. It's got like his big metal face like ripping out of the side of a truck. Yeah,
Dwayne
so Google that,
Johnson.
Guys. Dwayne the Trunk Johnson. Avatar, Fire and Ash continues to follow along the track of Avatar: The Last Airbender in terms of elements it tackles in its narratives.
Yes, we love it.
And so
no
we are.
Here.
I literally cannot believe. And also, this looks like the Elden Ring or whatever. This is terrifying.
Yeah, it is.
These like white ashy. These are going to look. Is anyone looking at this image and they're like, "This looks good. Yeah. This is great. This is what we're going to do."
I'm excited.
Are we doing a Halloween Horror Nights like competitor? What is?
My man Jim Cameron said, I made you 2 movies about things that people immediately forget they've seen, and they both made some of the most money ever in movies. So I'm now going to do fire, scary versions that are covered in ash. Let's not forget this used to be called The Seed Bearer, which is a much sexier name than Fire and Ash. I appreciate that we've made that turn. That feels like a Bob Iger thing. Like, man, we can't call it The Seed Bearer. Come on, Jim. Can't do it. We're going to talk more about these guys though, because they're going to come up later.
We also had Percy Jackson. I don't watch Percy Jackson, but good for them.
Neither do I. Moving on.
We got Freakier Friday again, as previously mentioned.
Yeah.
They took Jamie Lee Curtis from us, and she's ours now in the theme park community. 9 Inch Nails is coming to nail its way.
Wait, you have no Freakier Friday thoughts?
It's fine. It's whatever.
Did you not grow up with it?
I did, but like I'm also growing up and I'm also living in an era where we're taking every old movie and crapping all over it. So great.
Okay.
If it's good, it's good.
Can I make my pitch for it though? Can I just for a second?
Sure. Pitch me a better version.
If it's a movie about ageism and Lindsay Lohan learning that it's hard to be old because people don't treat you the way you should be treated, I'm kind of for it. Like, sure, if we're going to make these like, I think it could be interesting.
Well, Nathan, the important word there is could.
Yes.
It could be interesting. And I have no faith in this company.
We're going to have to figure out how to do this without a fortune cookie, though, my guy. We're going to have to figure out a new way.
Right.
Can't do that no more.
Right. It's an app. It's going to be a haunted app, I'm sure. Magical haunted app. Tron Ares.
Yes.
I love Tron news. And is Trent Reznor a 9 Inch nailer? Yeah. And he's one of the 9. And what he did songs
like tons of Fincher movies, like tons.
Yeah, he's like The Social Network and stuff.
Social
right?
Network is classic.
Yeah, okay. So that's cool.
Oh yeah, he's got tons of experience in this. Yeah, this is.
I have never Inch Nails, but I love all 9 of them. Mufasa.
So they made them. Hey, they made them look more like they let them smile now. They look great. They look like real.
They had to.
They look like real lions that are smiling like humans, and that works, huh?
They need to go back and do an editor's cut of the first one then and make everything start to smile, and then maybe I'll watch the prequel or the second one. Also,
nobody wants this.
Nobody wants this, and if it doesn't, and again, I don't mean to like put a stake in the ground here, and we'll do a whole episode about this because I'm very passionate about the fact that if it does not honor the Lion Guard lore that's been heavily established on Disney Junior,
no way,
where the Scar leads a band of animals called the
Ghost Scar, by the way, just to be clear.
No, this is Mufasa. Scar was Ghost Scar comes later.
Oh,
Scar is as a child he was the Lion Guard. That's what his job was because he wasn't king. He was the Lion Guard. He was like the King's Guard, and he was given a special force power, literally from the ancestor lions. When he uses the power of the roar, all the ancestors appear in the sky behind him and roar with him, and it causes like a nuclear explosion. But he used the power of the roar on his friends, and that is what gave him the scar. Once you use the power of the roar on you people you love or the people you're supposed to protect, you get the scar and you lose the power forever. And so
I'm very excited.
It's very Jedi. It's very light and dark side kind
It's
of
going to
stuff.
start. The movie's going to start, and he's going to come out and he's going to go. You want to know how I got these scars? Yeah. Why so serious? I'm Scar. Nobody. It is such a cocaine in nose corporate board meeting thing to be like, we're going to tell how Scar got his scar. Like everyone cares about how Scar's scar. We got to talk about Scar's scar.
Right. We're going to tell the story of Simba's gay uncle and how he got scarred. Snow White, Gal Gadot. You know what?
Everyone's
if I don't hear
favorite Israeli, Gal Gadot.
If I don't hear the Wonder Woman theme when she appears in the movie, you know what I mean? That like, and then also all these uncanny CGI dwarves.
Third iteration, baby.
What is going on with Dopey? He looks
Dopey.
like Gollum. He looks like Gollum and Dobby had a baby. Like this is not the right move. I don't know. I'm not happy about this.
No, I don't. Look, I am a firm fan of Rachel Ziegler, like massive. She's a big Disney nerd. West Side Story was really great. She's an incredible talent.
Rachel's incredible,
and the girl kind of keeps. Besides maybe the Hunger Games movie, which did really well, she just keeps finding these ways to get into not her problem,
Stinkers.
but just weird set drama. Like she's just like, and now I'm with Zachary Levi, and like now I'm in a movie with the third iteration of dwarves because Peter Dinklage was mad, and now like I just want good things for her. I hope the movie does well for her. I am a firm believer nobody cares about Snow White. Like they don't.
Yeah, they cared about it. They cared about it originally because it was a spectacle to behold. You know what I mean? Like it changed the game. It was a entirely new thing, and it was like the first time Toy Story came out. And everyone was like, "Oh, what?"
Ask all the other Snow White movies how well Snow White movies do.
Right. Ask Snow White and the Huntsman. Ask that girl from Twilight how she feels about Snow White.
Yeah.
And then lastly, live action. And this one I'm actually on board with a little bit. I think it could be fun.
Which one?
Because it feels as grounded. Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, I have a picture of the new. Let's see if I can get the new picture of Stitch here. There we go. There he is.
Yeah, Lilo and Stitch.
My boy Stitch.
There
live
he
action
is.
Stitch.
Perfect. I want to say that Disney really let me down with this announcement in a huge way. They had the perfect crowd for it. They had the perfect opportunity to blast rolls of toilet paper all over that arena, to just paper the hell out of it, just cover it with toilet paper from the rafters. And what? No toilet paper? The audience would have, we would have been talking about the Stitch toilet paper moment for the next 20 years if they would have done that. Yellow Shoes, you got to call
more
him.
toilet paper. Get up. We're firm believers in toilet paper and Stitch. What I would,
but he looks cute.
I think he looks cute. I have no issue with this. It's being directed by the guy that did Marcel the Shell, The Shoes On, which is an incredibly poignant movie that you sit and you go, how did they do that? Like they did a little meme movie and then they made a gorgeous thing about age and death. Like, so if he wants to bring that vibe, he wants to like really bring the heart to this, I don't really have a problem. This Stitch was right after I cared about Disney for a while. Like it was just at that peak, but this is still a 20-year-old franchise. So it kind of makes sense. It's one that people still really like, and you can do some more fun with stuff with it. I think it's going to theaters, right? It's not a Disney Plus thing anymore.
No, it's going to theaters. Yeah. This was a weird original movie because it's, not to bring it up again, but it's Disney's 9/11 movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like Disney's it's the movie that like happened the year of 9/11 when no one was like, hey, let's go to the theater. Woo-hoo-hoo, you know? So, R.I.P.
Rudy Giuliani told me to
Stitch.
go see Lilo and Stitch, and I'm going to do it for America.
Rudy really messed that up, guys. Rudy really ruined it for us all. Hey, I'm excited. I have questions about the next one. What do you think's going on with the next one? Do you think it's what people say it is?
No, it's okay. Tell them what we're talking about, and then I will have a very good rant about this nonsense.
Okay, so there's a new Star Wars show called Skeleton Crew coming out.
Space Goonies.
And it's Space Goonies. It's about a kid, his elephant friend, and like two other kids who clearly are going to die. And
Dan, that's not going to happen, Dan.
not in this movie, but when they're teens or like in the next one or something like that.
Sure.
They are clearly fodder because this is, you know what I mean? Like we're gonna get it really good. But it's called The Skeleton Crew, and there are a lot. And this isn't like just like a there are a lot of Captain EO references in this show.
There's one.
So what is? There's one.
There's one. What do you mean? There's two.
There's more than one.
You're gonna count the
leg? Robot.
You're gonna count the robot leg.
Oh, you are not. When you listen, Nathan, when you are the costume guy, when costumes are like the number one storyteller in movies that everyone doesn't pay attention to, everyone like just scoots over the fact of like, you know, like, oh, this and this, like, you know, whatever. Right. But like, dude, the production design of that plus the little furball thing, you know what I mean?
Right.
Plus what is clearly Hooter. Or like Hooter's cousin or something. You know what? Actually,
piano.
Hooter.
He's already in the thing. Like he's in Star Wars. That creature, not Hooter.
Great.
But the blue one. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, no. That's just what an adult one looks like. It's not actually Hooter.
Okay. All right.
You know what I mean? Right. Just like how there's ETs in the Senate.
We should be clear here. People think that this is somehow an origin story for Captain EO. And what it is one guy realized they owned Lucasfilm properties and they could put a fuzzball in a market scene. And they're like, oh, D23 will like this. And then I've had to hear half of Twitter be like, is this an origin story for Captain EO? Is this an origin story for... Oh, my God. Are they going to...
But you know what?
Are they going to bring back Captain EO? And it's like, no, dude, they're not. They're not.
I think that they would.
Who's going to... What is it going to be The Weeknd? Is Captain EO? Like, what are we talking about?
Perhaps. No, it's going to be that kid when that kid's like 25. We're not going to get to the Captain EO story until later. That's what I'm saying. I know those kids aren't going to die in this movie. They're going to die like in 4 movies, you know?
So you think someone sat Jude Law down and said, we want to do a Star Wars thing, but we need you to also help us create the EO-verse inside of Star Wars.
I don't think that they sat Jude Law down and said we're making a Captain EO thing, but this is Dave Filoni and Favreau, right?
Right. And they're freaking nerds.
They're freaking nerds, man.
It's just a fuzz. This is the thing. We do this so often. They give us like a little crumb, and then we go, oh, I love this crumb. This crumb is gonna be part of
Nathan,
a big feast.
When the crumb is grabbing his crotch and moonwalking, I think that people might be picking it up.
There's no feast at the end of this. And y'all are going to watch it, and you're going to go, where was Captain EO? I thought this was a Captain EO show, and it's not. And it's not going to have
Where was Mephisto?
Yeah. Oh my God. I totally forgot. I had thrown that away in my recycle bin of my brain. Yeah. I
don't know, man. I don't know, man.
It's cool.
Why even touch that property with all of its baggage if you're not trying to reboot it?
They own it.
Yeah, I know they own it, but it's got a lot of bags, you know? It's got a lot of baggage.
They wanted one creature in a thing and they put him there. That's it. Now, here's the thing, though. And I want to make it, I think it's conspicuous to see a tan child actor and be like, aha, that is Michael Jackson. Like, it's a leap. I don't know. Whatever. Who cares at the end? Like, either they do it or they don't. But
as long as they bring back the chick who played the monster,
Angelina Houston.
Yeah, she's still alive. Hire her.
Yeah, I do like the idea of like Captain EO trying to dance his way out of a confrontation with Darth Vader. That sounds fun.
Yeah, while screaming Hooter.
Zoink with the light saber.
There's a Michael Jackson musical on Broadway right now, and it's doing very, very well. I think that the public opinion doesn't care.
No, they don't
anymore.
They don't.
And then I don't know. This next movie that we're going to talk about is like, what is the if I don't meet Yoda in this movie or something, like what the only purpose for this movie I think is just to bring these two characters in, like cross the threshold of like cinematic like Star Wars universe, so they could just start appearing in other things.
Of course, the Mandalorian and Grogu, the worst named Star Wars story period, bar none. That is a terrible name for a movie. I don't know, man. I don't care. I saw the last season of Mandalorian. I'm bored. So,
yeah,
you know,
I don't know.
Sorry, y'all. If you were like excited about Mandalorian, like it's fine. I don't know. Like the thing is this is going to come out in movie theaters. It is at best going to make as much as Solo, and then everyone's going to go and get real nervous because they tried
Star Wars panic. Right.
And it's like, you're not going to get a blockbuster.
Or maybe it'll surprise us. Maybe.
Who knows? Maybe. Everyone loves to go see a faceless warrior in a movie theater.
What did surprise me was we got a new name for Fantastic Four.
Yep.
And we got some footage of it at San Diego Comic-Con, not at D23.
Right, we have some... There was no Marvel news at D23.
There was no Marvel. Well, we got some Captain America. We saw
the nipples of Red
big
Hulk.
red nipples.
Yeah.
We saw his big old red nips.
Sorry, guys, I don't have a picture of the red nips.
And Robert Downey Jr.'s back as Doom. I am so confused by that, but time will tell. I don't know. It feels way too early to even begin to speculate what kind of chaos that will cause.
All I know is later on we're going to talk about how Robert Downey Jr. is voicing Iron Man in a couple things for Disney, and I'm like,
totally part of this.
You gave him $80 million. I assume that he would. I assume he would hand me a churro for $80 million.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. You got him on the hook. Let's use him as much as possible. Just blue sky like 6 or 7 more Iron Man rides and have him record stuff for it while you're thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just do it. Just have him just say like a lot. Just make noises and stuff in a microphone. This one I'm excited to hear what you think about, which is the theatrical.
The greatest. Well, the first theatrical news that you don't have on here is Frozen. A pro shot of Frozen's coming to Disney Plus, which I think is very good.
Sure.
It's very good for the industry. We should be pro shotting everything
100%.
And be putting it on streaming. It's really, really good for the industry. The Greatest Showman has a musical coming, and that's been in development for a hot minute. Like they've been working on it for a while, and I'm kind of tickled that they showed it because Broadway is hurting right now. No one is at Broadway, and give it the old Disney 1-2, and maybe we can juice
no one's
up
backing to the
theater.
future.
No, certain shows are doing okay, but there are 41 Broadway houses, and there are only like 12 Broadway shows that are like selling right now.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're not really, but like it's hard.
It's bad out there.
It's hurting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad out there. But I'm excited.
Did you like Greatest Showman?
Yeah. Sure.
I love a story that's a complete lie about a liar. Like, it's great.
Yeah, it feels like if Walt was told his story, or if P.T. Barnum told his story.
Literally, no one could have made a better P.T. Barnum makes a P.T. Barnum movie than this. Like, it's
right.
It's chef's kiss.
The worst thing that happened is a woman kissed me. The scandal.
Yeah.
Not the elephant, the Lion King sized elephant graveyard you've left behind.
just knocking them down.
You're calling up guys who invent electricity just to figure out how to kill them. Hey, can you electrocute this thing? It just killed another one of my workers.
We all know that he also looked just like Hugh Jackman. So.
Yeah, the same height too.
Yeah,
P.T. Barnum, and Wolverine are both only 5'1", but Hugh Jackman has played both of them.
Both had iron claws too. That had nothing to do with it. But P.T. Barnum just he had him. He had a freak. Yeah.
He was one of the freaks. Listen, guys, Dan's getting tempted to start heading back to gaming coverage and cracking out his gaming journalism because the Disney partnership with Fortnite has really kicked off, and they only kind of they just teased it a little bit, but there's a huge Marvel collaboration coming up in the next season, which isn't big news. That's happened in the past. There have been other Marvel collabs, but not to this scale. And Disney is adding a permanent Disney store into Fortnite shop now moving forward. The reason why they previewed all of these packs, such as Disney Villains, Incredibles, the Marvels, all of these new Fortnite skins that they're going to be rolling out in the next couple of months, is because they're going to have a dedicated nonstop rotation of cosmetic items in the store, separate from the other Fortnite stuff that's rolling through Battle Pass wise, in the same way that they have a Lego store now 24/7, Fortnite Festival store, and a Rocket Racing store. So just get ready for that collab. It is going to be big. It's going to be huge. This is just the start. It's just the start.
They're talking about some sort of, what if you could play all the time in a land of infinite Disney possibilities, and they're using all this language, and you're like,
well, that actually aligns with the format. They're just pitching Fortnite to people
right now,
because it is what, and that speak is all I'm trying to say. It's because like Disney Infinity had the same kind of formula in that user generated content streams an infinite amount of content that people can play, and we're going to spotlight users who create good lands and platforms. And so Fortnite is that now. Fortnite has a creator mode that is beyond polished, that you can build your own really, really nice games in. Like you can just build your own Fortnite games in and then distribute them and then get paid, which is crazy.
That's nice.
So, and eventually as Disney rolls out elements of things such as Disney characters, Disney Fortnite things, Disney props and stuff in each season, you'll be able to build your own Marvel adventures, your Star Wars adventures, using all the props that they modeled and designed for that season. Yeah. So it's going to go, it's the potential is limitless as long as Disney's corporate greed doesn't murder it like they did with Disney Infinity. So time will tell.
Well,
keep your eye out.
You don't have to make plastic figures. It's a pretty low bar.
Sure, you don't have to make plastic figures, but you also Disney added their premium to the Toys to Life market, which caused it, I think, to collapse.
Yeah, totally.
And so Fortnite skins were already pushing $20 a skin, like $20 for a skin pack. Now with the Disney involved, they're bundling skins into like $40 or $50 packs. So soon, like people are going to feel very priced out of a game that they really loved playing, and it will attract a new audience, but not the kind of money spending audience it had. Right. So this is the downfall, but that's not what this podcast is about. They've been working on this for a while too. I just want to say this is not new.
No,
this is actually huge. Lego, because Dan used to be Lego guy, Lego gaming guy. Lego is actually in the process of building a huge multiversal like game, and then Warner Brothers kind of fell apart, like killing like all of their.
That doesn't sound like Warner Brothers at all.
Yeah, no, not at all. Let's get international.
Let's talk international.
So let's get to theme parks.
Yeah, let's get to stuff that's fun.
This is Disney Dan. We're only an hour into the podcast now. Let's start talking about theme parks.
Only talking an hour on that stuff. It's impressive. We're zooming.
yeah. Well, what is there to talk about? Freakier Friday, great.
Yeah.
Cool. Spider-Man coaster in Shanghai.
Yeah, man.
Swing on the swings of Spider-Man swings with your tracks. With tracks. I don't know. Disney likes to justify their visual tracks.
Yeah.
Like with their coasters. And so like, we're in like a Stark Industry thing, I guess, again.
Probably a cargo mover of some sort.
A cargo mover. But can someone please ask Tony Stark why the cargo has to go upside down and through corkscrews? I don't understand
real Tony
that.
Stark move. Real
Tony Stark move. Right. Yeah. Maybe we're in a chemical plant, and like in order to mix the chemicals, that has to be mixed at 70 miles an hour and upside down.
Is there anything like worse than Marvel for like good themed aesthetics? Like look at all of their stuff is like, well, here's a crate. Here's a big shipping container.
And like if you look at the background, the support beams for the roller coaster itself have like warehouse markings and like industrial, like NASA built it. Like guys, you could just make a roller coaster. It's okay.
Yeah. But also it's just like so like we could go anywhere. We go to Asgard. We could go anywhere.
Right.
And where do we go?
Right.
We always go to like a literal campus.
Shipping containers.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But this is not the only Spider-Man ride. We Spider-Man in the hell out of Disney theme parks.
Yeah, we really did. We're milking this one. I was standing in Universal drinking a butterbeer, looking at the news, and I kept turning to my girlfriend and be like, well, another Spider-Man announcement. Let's get on another ride.
Baby, Tom Holland's getting paid today.
Tom Holland is getting paid. Yeah, they're going to start soaking him in the same goo that billionaire like soaks in to keep him looking young. This next news, though, the next Spider-Man ride, I am tickled.
Dan, things are just starting to heat up with this one.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. Well, no. It's good. No, it feels like a Tower of Terror, not a Spider-Man ride.
Drop ride.
Yeah, it's a Tower of Terror, which if they use the Disney World Tower of Terror mechanics, not Disneyland. Disneyland's Tower of Terror is just a glorified drop tower carnival attraction. But if they use the Disney World system where the cart can move and stuff, huge potential. I'm actually gooped that this isn't used more in Disney.
Yeah.
Like that there isn't some kind
really
of convoluted
slow,
elevator ride in every park.
It's always been really slow. The original Tower of Terror because of the magnetic track system it's just kind of flaky and difficult, and
we can improve it with hollow tiles.
I think they have it. Yeah, right. Just put everything on a hollow tile.
The Imagineer tech that no one can stand on, but yet that's what it's being pitched as.
You can walk like a grandpa as you play Fortnite on a VR
You
set.
can sit on a folding chair and we'll move you around like you're a package at Amazon shipping center.
I just want, man. We could talk. We should have talked about hollow tiles. That's crazy.
This is a really great ride concept, though. Yes. Doc Ock's arms pulling you up and down, Spider-Man lifting you up and down. Yes. I actually kind of like it. I think it has a lot of potential.
There's a ups. You can look up in the elevator. I think that's really cool.
I didn't even notice that. That's a cool idea of be able to see a Spider-Man above you. Probably it would be screens, I have to imagine, but still.
Yeah, but still, it's
although, come on, how great would be a practical Spider-Man animatronic, like at some point, like when you get up high enough, like it's hidden in the dark.
Yeah.
Like that hanging man in Disney, in Haunted Mansion.
I'm all for it. Just give me all of the Doc Ocks you want. He's my favorite. I love Doc Ock. So this works for me.
Did I miss this next one? Tokyo Reach for the Stars?
Yeah. Tokyo is getting... Wait, hold on. I don't have a picture for Tokyo Reach for the Stars, I don't think. Let me...
Okay.
No, yeah. They're just doing it is a new... I think this is the one they said they're going to do... No, I don't want to quote myself. It's another nighttime show. It's a show.
Oh, okay.
It's going to have Marvel characters, and that's it.
Oh, right. Tokyo, for the first time, they're bringing Marvel characters to Tokyo in this nighttime castle
show. So Tokyo can go.
That's right.
Okay. And
I'm excited. I love a castle show to a park that I can frequent regularly, so good luck, Tokyo. Yeah. I hope that does well for you. Speaking of a park that I can't frequent regularly that gave me news, Disneyland Paris also has a castle show. Great. You guys are blowing it out of the water over there, guys.
First time Main Street, I believe, for that one.
Yeah, first time. We're getting such a Main Street boner in town when it comes to projection mapping at Disney parks. Like, it feels like the kind of thing that allows Imagineers to look like they're doing something, but they're just yeah, we're executing a projection mapping package on Main Street, and soon we will have projection mapping in every land of the park just to keep our budget going year to year.
That's the only way you can get a new show is if you can like projection map on another thing. You know, it's how we work. Okay, Adventure World. Adventure World's got stuff going on.
Yes, it does. It really does. It's the Paris. It's old studio park at Paris, and it really feels like Paris Studio Park was the hero of the show in terms of actionable plans that they kind of are like. It's happening.
I mean, if you take a corpse and
sure,
you can do a lot. But
just say they're about to take like a Werther's sampler pack of everything that's worked from every other park and drop it into this park, and it's going to become it's more affordable for me to fly to Paris than Tokyo. So if it becomes like a cool international park for me to go and eat a baguette, I know it smells like pee in Paris. That's what everyone tells me. It has a very ripe stench, so don't go in the summer. It's just what I hear. Is that, and if you're a Parisian and you're watching, you're like, we don't stink. Well, then leave a comment. I'd love to hear.
Please do.
But they're getting a new drone show, which is cool. Yeah. Like they're getting their own world of color.
Well,
essentially,
this is their new bay that's going to be in the park. They have
their new Michael Bay.
Oh, very funny. They have a model. They have a model.
Whoa, very funny.
They have a model. You can see that I'm done talking about all this
stuff.
You're
so tired of me.
No, you're good. So you know what? This park it looks terrible. Like in the sense of like even with all this extra stuff, you look at the model they have, and you're like, this park is such a hot. Like it makes Hollywood studios look competent. Like it's just the most hodgepodge thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
It really does. It really is. And
they put this cool like pond at the. So behind this is Frozen Land, and sure. But like you're still like it's an insane place.
it's like Islands of Adventure weirdly, like with a big lagoon with like lands all around it.
Weird.
It's so you know what, it works for Islands of Adventure as long as there's good transitions from land to land. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so over like we're so beyond the point of like actual meaningful immersion storytelling, and it's just become like how quickly can we build things that look like things from movies, and we'll figure out the immersion later. So thanks a lot, everybody. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Universal, for building Harry Potter World and killing theme parks. They're getting Frozen Land in 2026. this is bananas to me, Nathan. They're building Maelstrom for a third time in Paris. They built a Maelstrom in Epcot. It ran for many decades, became a Frozen ride. Then they built a Maelstrom in Hong Kong, was it?
Yes.
And, for their Frozen Land. And now they're building
Hong Kong,
they're building another Maelstrom.
I know Mossy lives there. I have to think in my head, like,
where's
how
Mossy?
are these different? And it's like Mossy is at one of them. And that's it. Yeah. And this
if they could easily sell, that my kids have a couple of them. They're like animal trackers. You like buy a bracelet for a couple bucks and it's like, where's your turtle? Where's your shark? Where's your elephant or whatever? They could easily be selling Mossy trackers. You know what I mean? It's just a static website. It just always shows Hong Kong, but you can stay connected to Mossy.
It just shows Mossy going into the break room and out of the break room.
And it's right. And it's made with little stone pellets. And you don't realize this, but it's Mossy's poop. But Mossy just poops pellets, so it's fine. You don't know.
I hate that. Don't do that to my Mossy.
Did you watch that show? This is such a random question. Did you watch there was a submarine Star Trek show?
Oh, baby, are you talking about Sequest?
Yes. There was a specific episode I cannot forget where like they kept finding like these glowing blue gems at the bottom of the seafloor, and they're like, "Look at these precious gems. What are they?" And it turns out that they were like, they're just like a weird like sea creature shit.
I love it.
And they're like just like hamster pellets that glow blue, you know, but like everyone was like, I'm mystified by these things, and they're like licking them and they're touching them. It was one of the funniest things ever. Oh my, what's the show called again? Sequest
had a really weird lifespan because Rob Schneider. No, wait, who was in? I'm totally blanking now. Who was in Jaws? Not Rob Schneider. It was Ron. I'm blanking. This is terrible.
Ron Schneider.
Is it Ron Schneider?
No, I don't know.
Why is this? Anyway, he played the captain.
He was
Roy Scheider, not Rob Schneider. It's Roy Scheider. Hi. Anyway, he played the Kirk kind of captain character, and then he was like, "This show sucks. I'm out." And then they tried really hard to keep it going with, I think, Michael Ironside, and it went for a little bit. But it was like it tried to like kill off characters and like make what a wild idea. I still love it though. I love the idea of it. There was a dolphin that communicated with a human. His name was Darwin. Okay.
Yes, I remember. It was like Flipper. If Flipper could talk, it was a cross between Flipper and Knight Rider.
Yes. Sure.
It totally was. Don't act like it wasn't.
Kind of. He didn't ride the dolphin.
And then, perhaps in the most confusing announcement of all of D23, and I really stand by
this
that.
Is beautiful.
They announced a Lion King log flume based off of the beloved animated classic that's over 30 years old, and then they presented us concept art of a live action Lion King ride.
And then if you go to the model, it's back to being the cartoon again.
Right. It's a very specific cartoon Simba, but that doesn't mean anything to me because that might just be a Simba that they had. That just might be a toy Simba that they had like on a shelf.
I think there's been some confirmation, but what I would say is the log flumes are what's the single? Is this Disneyland set up here for a log flume?
Yes.
Yeah. And which is weird. I cannot. It's like they're refurbing a Splash Mountain that they didn't tell us they had. Like,
right. Well, I think that the log flumes look like that because the concept artist took a picture of Splash Mountain.
Oh, 100.
And just
the model looks the same too. And the model I feel is a little more hardcore because it's like it kind of feels like okay, now they're getting to it.
Yeah, and this is Dan's new rule of D23. Trust not a single slice of concept art, despite how much it's promised not to be blue sky. But if you see a model, and I'll think of a fun way to say this in a rhyme, but if you see a model, you're in business, baby. If there's a model, they're building it. If you just see concept art, don't count your whiskers and your chickens and eggs
concept
and
art is a fart. Concept model you can coddle.
We're going to keep workshopping this. I'm excited though. We'll see where it goes.
I mean, I thought this was really stupid, But
I'm very interested by the fact that like they're like, let's build a log flume and then let's make it look like just grass. You know what I mean? Like, I would have loved if there were, and I like, how could they have done this? But like, that whole plain there should be filled with all the animals bowing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? To like a Rafiki, like holding up, like I want like it's fine, it's whatever. I know it's impractical, but like
maybe it comes out like a small Swiss child from a clock. Like just comes out of the house now and then and holds up the thing and goes back. You know what? When I think about the Serengeti, what I think about is a massive waterfall.
Right.
Certainly something that is a part of.
Well, it's just, if you ever wondered what's behind Pride Rock, it was a waterfall. You just didn't know.
It explains why they're so keen on sticking around Pride Rock. I'll give them that.
Right. Yeah. Well, they have indoor plumbing.
Yeah, man. Some AC in there,
So the
too.
ride has an interesting plot. Zazu wants to put together a band for a big party, but Timon and... but Rafiki shrinks you down to the size of a grub, and then Timon and Pumbaa try to eat you, and you have to go down this drop in order to escape them. And then you end up at there's a new lion baby at the end, and everyone's bowing.
Of a lion party.
There's a lion party at the end.
That sounds good. It sounds competent. Here's the thing. They don't have a Splash Mountain flume ride anywhere in Paris. There's not one at Disneyland. There's not one anywhere. So fine. I don't hate that they need a log flume ride. What's weird is you had Moana sitting right over there. You've already made a Moana log flume, and it feels a lot more like maybe. How do I put it? I get that. Okay, it's a log flume water ride with a person who controls water. Like I can get that. I can get to that level. This is like it's the freaking Serengeti. Like what are we doing? Like it's so weird.
Yeah, well, I think actually it could work, Nathan, if the ride takes us to where Timon and Pumbaa live, into the rainforest. Like if it takes us, you know what I mean, like into the Hakuna Matata, lush, because there's there's the waterfall. Like there's an iconic waterfall in the movie, but I don't know. We'll see where it goes. We'll see how it gets there.
See Simba and Nala like cuddling up.
Can you feel the love tonight? 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna interrupt it.
You know what I'm saying? They're gonna look at us like, hey man.
We get it, Nathan. We know what you're saying. Jeez.
That's what I'm here for.
California Adventure had some big news.
Yeah.
It's time to go full Pandora.
Maewa, West Coast.
He went full Avatar. This looks interesting.
Yeah.
I love that they're like, all right, we had the floating mountains. What's like the next big thing we can do that's iconic that doesn't require nearly as much steel? And so they did this big rib cage thing, like the Earth rib cage.
I think it's cool, man. I think it's cool.
I think it looks awesome.
I like the sea element. I love Pandora at Animal Kingdom. I think this is neat. I have no issue with any of this, to be completely honest. It made $1 bajillion. As much as I sort of always forget that I've seen an Avatar movie, like I've always vibed well with them. And this brings like a weird lush area to California Adventure, which kind of could use it. So,
and if they can do the theming right and the forced perspective right, it could there's a good potential for you to feel like you were up against the coast of like a land. If they do it all right, and sure, you won't be able to see because it's a show building behind you, but it'll make you think like the ocean's back there.
I don't at all want this at Disney Sea. Like, do not mess with Disney Sea. But like, that's a literal place that is literally on the coast, and it would look really, really cool there because this is what they're trying to do here. I mean, it's cool.
The ride looks cool. The ride is what I'm really excited about because it feels like it's going to bring that Shanghai Pirates energy.
There's no way it's not.
Yeah,
there's no way.
Because of all of this, this big jumping whale is not going to be an animatronic. No. It's 100% going to be that like big water screen
water
that
jets
they use on that ride.
Shoot water at
but
you.
It's cool.
Yeah, man,
it's cool.
It's cool. It looks like they like Navi.
What
River
other pictures did they show us
this?
This?
Not a lot. I think this was it. Really, they talked about how the model will have also some fire and ash elements in it too. So we might see like an aspect of this area being more fire tribe. I don't know. We'll kind of.
I don't know. I don't want those spooky bastards.
All I care about is I want to see my main man Patacon or whatever his name is. I want to free Willy. I want to be able to put my hand up and let him jump, save his life.
The thing I remember the most about that movie is the cake they steal at the beginning.
Which movie, Free Willy or Pandora?
Free Willy.
Oh, I was going to say, I don't...
Pandora. Yeah, Pandora. You know how the Na'vi steal a cake?
Sam Worthington was like,
we in the suburbs of San Francisco or wherever.
They left us. They left our tribe, but we stole their cake. Yeah.
We got a new e-ticket news for, speaking of Disneyland, for Avengers Campus.
Yeah, Tony Stark's Neverland Adventure. It's great. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it looks interesting. I don't know what I guess it's going to have to be that like Spider-Man-esque Peter Pan ride, right? Because the high walls.
This is, if you look at the model that they have for this vehicle next to the model or the real thing of the Peter Pan one, as someone, I hate to rub it in, but I also don't, as someone who has ridden the Peter Pan Neverland's Adventure ride at Tokyo Fantasy Springs.
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah, it is 100. It's the same seats. It's the same amount of people per seat. Like there's.
Do you feel like it's going to make a potential good thrill ride being on Peter Pan? Do you feel like you can get a lot of action out of it?
Peter Pan, maybe. Peter Pan doesn't try to be pretty hardcore. It's fairly gentle, which is its purpose. It's not. It's an I'd say it's an e-ticket, but it's a more gentle ride, right? It's very screen heavy. You fly a lot, which is hard to do. Something I mentioned in the past is the problem with that ride is it happens in the daytime, and so you can see the seams of where the screens begin and end, which you can't see in things like Transformers or Spider-Man because they take place at night. So if they're smart here, they're going to try to keep it as much at night as possible, and that should help with immersion. But if they're zapping through Wakanda and all sorts of places, I don't know. Like, I think they could. The problem with this kind of ride system is there is no turning left or right to see stuff. So
very forced perspective,
right? And they're going to do a lot of squinching and all that business. And if they don't. Like, people are like, well, they're going to add like some figures and stuff, right? And I kind of don't think so, because it doesn't. If they did, you'd have to be like pointed towards that thing for a while. They do an interesting job of mixing both the screens and some physical sets. Like, it does work for the most part, and I think it could be fun. I don't think
I'm really interested to see where they take it,
unless they really turn it up a notch. I don't think this system is enough to be considered like the Avengers thrill ride e-ticket of the century that everyone keeps thinking we're going to get.
Right.
Like,
and listen, if you ride these rides, pay attention like the Transformers or the Spider-Man one. They're really great to compare. They're right next to each other. Spider-Man, the practical sets in that ride like are gorgeous and like really make the story. Like, honestly, you don't realize how immersed you are. But when you get on Transformers, the sets are very bland and flat. And that's what I'm afraid is going to happen here, because Web Slingers has that same problem. Everything being flat, Avengers gray. And so we'll see what happens.
You make a good point too. It's all about pacing. Spider-Man, the ride, what's it called? The Incredible Adventures of Spider-Man? I can't remember the fun.
Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man.
It's probably one of the best paced rides ever. Like, it's
truly,
like, it really knows when you need a break and when you need to ramp up, and I think that's really key. Peter Pan does that fairly. I don't know. I wouldn't say it does it well, but it's different. And it has its moments. But I do fear that if you're zipping and zopping through battles, it's going to feel like Transformers, where you're just like, I don't know what the hell just happened, but okay.
Or Web Slingers in Disneyland, because again, you go from room to room, theme to theme, and it just blasts by so fast.
Yeah. We do have a photo though from the ride, and if they really do sort of lean in on sort of like, if that's a physical set with two different screens, like they could like impress me. Like, if you're going to use an IMAX screen for some of these moments, like, this could be really incredible. Like, I'm not trying to poo-poo it.
I didn't see this picture. It looks weird.
Yeah, it certainly looks like the, in my opinion. So for those who are listening, it's a big giant Ant-Man seems to be fighting a giant something else, and then Iron Man's helping out, and Ant-Man has gotten knocked down and he's crashing through the top of a ceiling. So I think in this sense, the wall, it's kind of like a circular wall, is real. And I think the wall below and above is digital, including the window pane.
Yeah.
And they'll drop some little bits of water or something on you to feel like you got glass if they go full with it. If they're going to get that fun with perspective, it's kind of cool. So we'll see.
Wow me and dazzle me, Disney.
Yeah,
Come
do your
on,
best.
you can do it. I'm really excited about this next one though, because this came out of nowhere. I thought, but kind of was hilariously like the only presence of Bob Iger at the panel. But this new flight test thing, which is neat because it's it's like an Omni mover in a way. It's like being on Haunted Mansion, but then having a robot arm in the Madame Leota room, like pick you up and wiggle you around and then put you back down.
It's called Stark Flight Lab.
It's kind of neat.
For those in the audio podcast, it's another
Stark Flight
Avengers
Lab.
Ride.
What is how do you pronounce it? A Kuka arm?
Kuka. Yeah. Kuka, I believe. Yeah,
these are the robots building America's cars.
Yes, and taking us on forbidden journeys. But this one's unique because it seems to literally pick up your vehicle, which is pretty cool. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the same type of system. Nah, it's probably a little different, but we'll talk about a certain suspended coaster coming up that they say grabs you.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if these are connected in some way when it comes to figuring that out.
It's neat. I can't wait to see it if it gets built. I can't wait.
Yeah. Yeah. The weird thing about it is it's like just jiggle. It literally is a ride where a Kuka arm is jiggling you around. Like they said, there's a randomization of what heroes you'll see during the tests. So my guess is you're going to get kind of put in. This feels very like it's going to be a space saver put in a bubble, and then you're like moving around a lot in a bubble, and then you go to another bubble. But they don't have 3D goggles or anything on in the concept art, so I don't know. It's fine. It's really going to take a lot less space than I think people think. They're like, how could they fit this in? It's like, I don't know. It's a motion simulator, basically. So it's not a big deal.
This feels an Omni Mover motion simulator. It's not going to take a bunch of
Can we talk about what I think is the biggest creative risk that they're taking?
What?
Which is Great Moments with Mr. Disney.
Oh, my goodness.
Which is happening over at Disneyland. Oh, I forgot about Bayou Country. We'll talk about that in a minute. I got excited about this one.
Disney, the parks were they're struggling so hard with keeping the unions in check that they had to build a robot Walt in order to police the rising need of unions in the company. And also they also needed a robot Walt to be programmed with his AI personality because they don't have anyone that's into anything anymore. They are all just into making money. So they had to build a robot of a guy who likes models to tell them about what kind of models they should potentially build.
It's really hard when all you like his money to like try to figure out what it's like to be a guy who had a lot of money but also liked this stuff.
Just like to play.
Which you can tell anytime like Josh Tomorrow had to talk. You're like, before we get into this, I have to talk about what I think is literally the dumbest thing I heard the entire panel, which is that Josh Tomorrow said, I'm going to take the concept art off. We're going to talk exclusively about this for a second. So Josh Tomorrow says, innovation. We believe that innovation makes for better storytelling. And that is hogwash. There is nothing about innovation that makes for better storytelling. It allows you different ways to tell stories, but it does not bring better quality to any of your stories. That is some tech bro nonsense. Which suggests that, anytime we have an R&D thing, that means it will help us in the narrative of telling something. Man, they made a ride, and I get that it was advanced at the time, but like pirates were just kind of hanging out, and it was cool because it told a story and was a vibe on itself. But picking me up on a Kuka arm and then being like, I hope you enjoyed it because we have made new versions of storytelling. Like we let you flip with your hands, and so it's a great story now. No, that's not how any of this works. And I just totally feel like I don't have like a desperate need to be poo-poo on Imagineering. I really don't. I think Imagineering gets budgets what they get, and when they're allowed to do what they want to do, they do Fantasy Springs, and it's incredible. But that concept, that thing that like upper management thinks of, the only way we can make this interesting is if we bring some new technology to it. Like, my man, it's just not true. Just not true.
Yeah, no, progress for the sake of progress doesn't necessarily mean that the progress is going to be great.
Let's talk about a man who did like progress, but also not unions.
It feels very Carousel of Progress, which is what I want.
I
you
like
know, I'm very interested. You know what? I'm going to hold my judgment because if I'm going to be honest with you guys, I've seen the robots of Biden and Bill Clinton and Trump, and it's not like we're breaking ground in the robot face department.
No.
So I'm going to sit pretty on. Are we going to choose old Walt? Face with young skinny Walt body? Are they going to leave him because Walt wasn't skinny, man? He was a fat guy. Not fat. He was a thick boy. Yeah. But are we going to make him a skinny little man, but with his old chubby face? It's going to be. I just can't wait to see.
I'm
what we choose
excited for the cigarette technology.
Oh yeah, if he's not smoking, I'm not seeing.
Yeah, I need at least a little plume of smoke coming up from an ashtray on his desk.
Yeah. As the scene spins around, you hear and that scene in Saving
Banks,
Mr. Banks.
Sure, he smoked. Yeah, we're not gonna.
Yeah, sure, of course he smoked.
But no, man, they just did a ton of refurb on this area, and we've seen patents for how this theater rotates, and will allow Mr. Lincoln to continue as well. I'm so for randomized abilities to see something different. I think that's super neat. And
in existing spaces specifically.
And I think that I think this is weird. I think it's weird. This is where I'm sort of okay, now we're getting into deification territory. That's why I don't like Hall of Presidents. It's like you're making a man out of you're doing it.
Yeah.
You're making it. I literally played this scene in BioShock. I know this. But at the same time, we know why they spent all that money on the Walt AI voice for the touring show now, because that's what they're going to use.
Absolutely, yeah.
But
and you know what? If if Walt was still with us, he would have happily allowed anyone to reanimate his corpse to make money. If it meant making money, people I once made used an AI tool just to try it out with a picture of Walt to animate it. And someone tweeted at me, they're like, I hope someone uses pictures of you after you're dead to make money. I'd be like, I hope so too, man. I'm sure they're already doing it right now, and I don't even know about it.
I got a whole other Disney Dan channel that's just you. I have a right wing.
It's our Norwegian.
A right wing Disney Dan channel. It's just you spouting horrible stuff. It makes so much more money though than this show.
Right. Huge profits.
Yeah, but it's a risk. I kind of feel this is your guy, man. You understand that this is a tough assignment, and if you fail,
and also
it's bad.
If it goes wrong, right? If it goes wrong, what are you gonna do? We got rid of the Walt animatronic.
Yeah, man.
They have to have a lot of confidence in the project to roll out. I think so. It. That's all.
Do you think this goes into one man's dream before too long? I think it takes over the theater.
No, I think it'll take over Carousel of Progress.
Oh, that's weird. I hope not. That would be strange, but I understand what you mean. If it's multiple Waltz.
Yeah, telling the progress of Walt.
I do wish this was. I don't like suit Walt. I'm all for blue sweater Walt. That's my favorite Walt. I want Walt. I want an animatronic Walt that is looking at an animatronic Abe Lincoln, but it's got to be the old Abe Lincoln animatronic. And he's like, "Look at this animatronic. Isn't this cool?" And then
actually that would have been a hilarious change to the show where it was Walt talking about the animatronics that that would have been incredible.
I hope. And then he just suddenly looks at his hands and he's like, wait a minute, that's not blood. Where's my blood? And then it's just he's figuring it out as he goes.
Why can't I bleed?
Why can't I love?
They're also this isn't the only big Disneyland news.
Oh no, there's tons,
because the ride that we got in Florida is going to open there eventually. Tiana's Bayou Adventure. They're taking over.
The only big news here that they released was that it's now called Bayou Country, right?
Yep. It's not Critter Country anymore. It's Bayou Country.
That works for me.
Cool. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it.
You'll get to see it the way it was intended to be written and not smushed into a larger version at another park.
Right. I can't wait. I honestly cannot wait to ride the Disneyland version. I'm super serious about that. And then for another boat ride for the park, which I'm really surprised about, Coco is getting a boat ride. And
it's boat season, baby.
What's crazy is they're literally just building a Grand Fiesta tour in California. They have they realized they had all these plans for rides at Epcot just sitting there collecting dust. Like, why? We haven't built 2 of these yet. So they're
might as well.
So they, you know what? It's so funny though, but that's the vibe it gives me. Weirdly, it gives me the vibe of just sailing through. What's funny is it also looks like boats with dinner chairs. Did you see that?
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, you kind of sit and there'll be. That's interesting. I wonder how that's all going to pan out. This works for me. This is a weird one in a sense because this is not going into California Adventure, right? This is going into Disneyland proper.
That's what they say.
For me, this feels like a California Adventure ride, but that would be if California Adventure cared about like California-esque things anymore. Like, I know this is taking place in California, but that's not the part of the point. That's not the point of the park anymore. They do still have sort of a Mexican flavored area in there. Now it's just like whatever park, but I don't know where this is going to go. I guess this is part of Frontierland is my guess. I don't know, man. Disneyland's like
no, Tomorrowland, because everyone eventually dies. So that'd be a hilarious.
Why not?
What's the future hope for you? Death.
Hope you remembered.
Speaking of death, and now anyone who wants to leave the Magic Kingdom at night will have to suffer fates worse than death.
Rules. I'm so happy about this. Come on.
Because we have a brand new nighttime show, parade coming to Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom, Spectrum Magic 2.0, I think they're calling it. No, Starlight. Starlight, so bright. Has Encanto. I mean, we're literally looking at concept art, and this is what the float will look like. Yeah. I mean, top to bottom. And they've already been casting a Luisa, an Isabella. That's an Isabella. They already have Isabella cast. They have the costume made. It's only a matter of time. And I would imagine they'll have a Luisa walking around, with this parade float with a bunch of light up donkeys.
Girl's going to eventually go back and forth between Animal Kingdom and this parade is what's going to happen.
Oh, right. For sure. Yeah. She's,
what I would say
she's got a lot of travel and Epcot. She's also in Epcot with their sing-along song.
Don't forget that, there's that back kind of exit at Main Street. If they open that up when they're running the parade.
When they open them up, though, is the thing. When they open up the annex. True. When? Because, we were just talking about this at breakfast. Just make them permanent 100%. Open annexes, please.
100%.
Please.
Yeah, Main Street's nuts. But I mean, this won't even go down Main Street. This will go down this will turn at the circle, is my guess. But yeah, whatever. It'll be interesting. I'm very happy. We should have one. I forgot how much I missed these until I went to Tokyo and I was there for theirs, and I was like, oh yeah, these are fun. This is a thing.
Yeah. Nighttime spectacles are really cool, especially new ones, and it's not like they're going to arrange light bulbs in a way you've never seen before, but they'll be fun nighttime, vibes, and who can't love
a
vibe. Speaking of vibes, we got a new vibe over in Adventureland. Right? Yeah, Pirates is part of Adventureland with a pirate lounge. I love a lounge.
What does the term lounge mean anymore? Do you know what it means?
It means a place to rest your rump, Nathan.
It feels like it's a way of not using the term bar for them now.
Oh, for sure. I definitely see a family-friendly bar. Yeah,
because they call. We'll talk about it later too. Epcot had a huge announcement. It's very exciting. You all stick around. It's incredible.
The announcement coming.
But they called that also this, and I was like, okay, what does a lounge mean anymore?
I think that they're echoing airports in that it's
an upcharge.
Sure, you're in a they're echoing airports. It's an upcharge. You're also in an anxious space and you're looking for a safe space. And so you can upcharge yourself into a safe space. Yeah. And then there's and then there's a premium inside of, being able to access snacks or whatever.
Tacos.
Yeah. $45 tacos. But it's that kind of safe space at an airport, I'm stuck here. I want to see the fireworks. What do I do for 3 hours something? Because it would take me an hour and a half just to leave this park.
Yeah.
So
to be fair, I have no issue with this Pirates Lounge. I think it's fine. Tortuga Tavern has been a nothing burger for so long that it's fine. Do something with it. Cool.
Yeah, the Tortuga Tavern has just been, especially now the Sorcerer's the Kingdom is gone. That card game, because they had a big like fireplace in the back that like you could use it for.
I literally didn't know that because
like,
I never went back there.
Yeah, and it was a nice little quiet vibe back there. But it's and if you want to really tickle me, like give me a secret passage into Pico Bills, from the pirate, because give me some kind of crossover between the front and back of those buildings.
Whatever that building is going to be. We're going to talk about that in a second here because Frontierland's getting weird, y'all.
I can't wait. I can't wait for what's going to happen to Frontierland. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. There's no way this happens. There's no way this happens. They're like, show me a model before I believe anything about what's going to happen to Frontierland. You want to talk about that next?
First of all, I want to say, I'm going to call it. I'm calling it right now. This is the death of cowboys in Frontierland. You get country bears. I don't even think it counts. I think that they are bears first, cowboys second. I think the concept of saloon town Gunham kind of I think it's all gone.
Cowboys are dead.
I think that they're going to make it.
We don't care about cowboys anymore.
It's a shame. They're the samurai of the West, but we don't care about them.
Right.
No.
Right. Kevin Costner made us all realize that we just don't care about the West.
He's gonna.
We stopped caring a little after 3:10 to Yuma, and we haven't cared since.
I really want to. But
yeah. People do.
Yeah, I think that frontier is a term that means a lot, and they can turn that into a lot of different things. There is nothing that suggests that you can't make. Now, again, I am really stretching out my legs here, but if you wanted to make it a condor flat, like that kind of explorery, frontiery, woodsy vibe, that works better for the next thing we're going to talk about, and it also would smush a little bit into the bayou concept as well. We'll see. I don't know how much.
Well, you know what, I've been to Cars Land at Disneyland, and it is not themed in the same way. It's themed about the town from Radiator
This
Springs.
is not that,
but a lot of the theming and the surrounding elements of it are very much Big Thunder Mountain adjacent in terms of like their structures, the butts, the big frontier, the open wilderness. And so having like a dirt racing kind of like a dirt racing Radiator Springs. Again, this is never going to happen, but a dirt racing Radiator Springs, it's a novel idea actually. And the Radiator Springs eats people. People love that ride, man. It is 10 years old now, and people are still lining up for it daily, like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, because it's a better test track is what it is.
Yeah. And I think that this is interesting. If you see here so we're talking about, there's basically that it's a new variation on Radiator Springs that is taking place, it looks like, on a dirt track, and Lightning and Mater are going to be doing the announcing at the end. If they really do put in like a little crowd of cars at the end, that rules. Like that's an element that I hope they keep.
It's stuff like this that makes it like the world building of these rides crazy. The fact that you drive through Radiator Springs on the ride is it is what makes it an E+ ticket ride, and so recreating that, and I'm sure they will actually, that you'll drive through like where they test, where like Lightning learned how to drive on the dirt and stuff
you'll
like
spin.
that. I'm sure you'll get some of that
some
stuff.
Weird, interesting way. There's another picture here, and you kind of see this off-roading sort of very kind of country vibe. Like this is a totally new system. This, and in the sense of like, this isn't, for like 2 seconds where I was like, are they getting rid of Big Thunder? And then I was like, no, that doesn't make sense. It's too different from that. And it's too wide.
No, it's going to go behind Big Thunder though, because this theming fits in with a couple tree barriers. It's like, oh, okay, these two things next to each other.
Let's talk about the other thing coming next door, and then we're going to have a larger conversation about whatever Beyond Big Thunder means.
Villain Land, it's happening, apparently.
Thank you. Everyone say thank you, Epic Universe Monsters, Dark Universe.
Dark Universe, yeah. Thank you for the escalation that we needed to get this to happen.
Yeah. I think, do you like this?
I'm interested in it. I like the idea of a thorny roller coaster.
This thing rules.
That the Maleficent raised thorns, and the tracks are like the
dragon
thorny brush.
Shoots fire at you.
And that is genius to me, I think. And then the giant castle has to be some kind of dark ride, like the big mountain range. Like it has to be some kind of. And honestly, if they do a dark ride, even like in the vein of, I don't want to say Little Mermaid, but like Little Mermaid or something like that. Like I want like a bunch of colorful animatronics, big bold scenes that are still reminiscent of Pinocchio's Scary Journey, and like Snow White's, like all those like old school dark rides. Like you can't have a dark universe and not have a dark ride. Have a dark coaster, that's cool, that's outside or whatever, but like, give me that dark ride.
Yeah, I mean, this is something. It's interesting. Boy, this seems like it's really funny. I was talking to Jack Patillo about this, and he was like, "Oh, this is going to be a two attraction, counter and sit down." And they were literally like, "It's a 2 attraction." This is the same vibe as Pandora in the sense of.
Or Batu.
That it's now become the thing, because I think they can put it on a thing and go, okay, this makes sense financially or whatever. So I don't know, man. I'm not sure if there's going to be a dark ride. I wonder if because are there going to be 2 e-tickets? Because that coaster's the e-ticket, right? Unless it's a really you can't have a mild like kids coaster in a Villain's Land. That's not the point. So I don't know.
No.
I am very shrug-worthy on this, only in the sense that villains are usually the ones in rides that make things a problem. So when you go through a ride, like what's the story? Like why? Like what's the thing? It's just a very unique narrative problem to suggest there's an area like this.
They're luring us in, and then a problem.
It's fine.
Happen.
I did like the person that said like. They were upset because they're like, this is exactly what the Kingdom Keepers were trying to stop them from doing.
Yeah, that was a funny joke. I like that. That made me laugh.
But
so how are these things going to fit in?
Right. So here we go. There's already rumors spreading, and I think they're rumors because it's logical, kind of. But I think that I think it's true. I think the riverboat's going to close. I don't think they're going to do the riverboat anymore.
I think it'll turn into a donut. A little donut of water. So that they still have the Liberty Square. The riverboat can make a loop, maybe, or the riverboat just gets parked.
I think it's going to get parked in front
Rob
of
jokes. He's like, park it and make it a lounge.
Parked in front. Yeah.
Just park it.
It's a show. They already did a big show over at Disneyland about this. So it's a show. They can do they can show it. And then the only problem is, where do you dock it now that you have it out and about like that? Like, you need a place to put it when you don't want it out. And that gets a little tricky.
Yeah, it might be going away. You're right.
I don't know.
Who knows?
And it's
not the one Walt cared about.
No, I don't.
So
who cares? This is. I wrote an article a long time ago on WWNT when I was still there about wastes of space at the Magic Kingdom, which has this terrible problem. And I hate this area. I hate Tom Sawyer's Island. I hate it. It's such a waste of space.
Yeah, I never go on it. I never use it. It is a waste of space.
And it's a gob of space that can be filled with something else.
They gotta chop that off though. They gotta chop off that, make it a circle, and it's like, what else do you do?
It feels to me that we're going to go haunted. If you go kind of let's go counterclockwise, right? It's Haunted Mansion goes to Villain's Land. Villain's Land goes to Cars. Cars goes to Big Thunder, is my guess. That way you can sort of spook up that one, the one side. The Cars to, I don't know. It's a hard transition, but they'll figure it out between Cars.
I think the walkway will be between Small World and Belle's Enchanted to get into Villain's Land. I don't think it will be around Haunted Mansion.
I think you might be right. You could go up and over.
Up and over, yeah.
Which is very possible.
It's going to literally be what they did to Batu at Disneyland. Like, if you think about it, like they're going to really modify that river. They're going to really tear it up. Almost like Batu is a dry run for what they're going to do here.
Yeah, it could be. I think we'll see some other changes in this area too, if that's going to happen. They're going to need to balance it out in some way. I think that I honestly think Hall of Presidents is numbered. Like, I hate Hall of Presidents. Is like one of my big things of like, get rid of it. It's dumb. But I honestly think that if they're making these adjustments, I'm not sure Liberty Square finds a place anymore. Like, it feels like a weird mini.
You're right. It might be an easy way to push it out.
It's a weird mini land inside of a land already. And like, then if you're going to have a Villain's Land that's going to basically subsume Haunted Mansion in many ways, yeah, it's a little strange. So we'll see what happens there. It's messy.
We'll see. I'll be interested to see. I mean, you can't really mess around with the Haunted Mansion, and there is no space in the water like around that queue. You have to go like around. Yeah. So I can't wait to see what happens. Who knows?
It's a couple years to say the least. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. None of this is blue sky. Everything's shovels and dirt. Can you show me where on this map the shovel is so I can go find it?
It's way in the back.
Hey, Animal Kingdom's getting a lot.
Shovels and dirt.
Yeah, Animal Kingdom is getting big news. The tree is getting redone. It's tough to be a bug and keep a job because Zootopia is coming to town, which is apparently what the animals in Zootopia eat is bugs. That's how they get their protein source. Yes, that's what the creators of the show say. Bugs and fish. Because apparently those two things don't have feelings, but other animals are sentient. It's weird. Zootopia better together. Zootopia better when not dressed as police.
Yeah.
It's going to be a Shakira try everything.
Fine, whatever.
Naked animal yoga. You know what I mean? Like popsicles.
We already know Clawhauser's gonna they already made the animatronic. They already made the animatronic.
Yeah. Oh.
They're gonna bring it over. Yeah. It's gonna go where Hopper is. Like that's.
Yeah, he's gonna be DJing the whole time. Clawhauser's a DJ, and he's gonna be DJing with donuts though, obviously. Yeah. It's so impressive. He just hits play and then pretends he's pushing buttons.
This is fine. Whatever. It's better than a Zootopia Land and Animal Kingdom, I guess. I wanted people who know me know that I've always wanted an Ant-Man attraction in this spot.
It would make so much sense.
Yeah,
wouldn't
it just makes a lot of
sense. It would make so much sense. It'd be so great. It's so crazy that they closed Bugs Land it was just sitting right on an Ant-Man rebrand in California. You know. That Flick is Ant-Man.
He is an Ant-Man.
And hey, this fall the days are numbered for Dino Land, man. It's interesting because they stressed in the announcement of Dino Land closing that they're like, and by the way, guys, you're still going to have plenty of time to ride dinosaurs, so don't worry. Which makes what I hear when I hear that the Dino Rama area is going to get leveled tomorrow, and because it's already is half leveled. Truly. And if I had to put money on it, I don't think they'd even have to do a lot of work to even begin the Encanto prep because of Primeval Worlds art. It's like already cleared out back there. So in this way, I do believe there's a model. We've seen these models actually in the Imagineering series on YouTube. They're not. It hasn't been hidden. There have been many of these models. This is like a late stage model from what we've actually seen in some other stuff. So we know this is happening. I see models. I know that shovels are in dirt. I could go to Animal Kingdom and find a dirty shovel with this model. And we still have the building that's going to smell like McDonald's fries. Doesn't look like that's going anywhere. Thank God. Yep. And so just a lot of re-themes of Spanish exteriors.
I love this, man.
I love all
of this. I love all of this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be really cool.
So, like, the fact that they made a very clear comparison to Harambe when they were talking about this is what this is. It's like a town in that area. Like, it'll have... They released... I don't have the picture, but they released a picture of the carousel and, like, the wooden figures, and they look a little rough and old and handcrafted. And, like, they're going to go for that vibe inside of that area. And I love that theming concept at Animal Kingdom of, like... Here are the lands that are based in the culture, and then you can kind of spread out from there if you want to connect to things that you like. I loved Dino Land in the sense of that it's a very unique, fun, kitschy time for America. But I mean, let's not kid ourselves here. Like it's not. It was always the worst. No,
this will be a huge improvement. And it's so funny looking at this model. I'm shocked at how much is.
Oh my God! Yeah, I mean,
because
so
like that, you can see back by the Encanto ride that whole Chester's and Hester's gift shop that has all that beautiful tchotchkes in it. That building's still there, you know, and a lot of the structure of like the meet and greet space in front of Dinosaur. Yeah, exactly. And the restrooms, like there's a lot of stuff. It looks like the Dino play area for the kids is going to get leveled, and that's the area that's going to turn into the carousel is going to be, and the whole space where all the games are. You can almost see it mapped out there where the Triceratops Triceratops spin in the games is going to become the queue and like the Encanto meet and greet space. Because don't act like there's Bruno, Mirabelle.
Well, that's right there.
They're going to be a
see
constant rotation
it's
of
in
characters.
front of the thing there. That stone wall is definitely a meet and greet spot. Like, there's no way that's not.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Or it's the entrance to the
no,
to the
it looks
ride.
like the entrance is to the left by the carousel. If you look there, there's a what could be the exit.
Right.
But
Yeah, interesting.
I think that's a four-fronted concept. I think
I'm really excited for a Mystic Manor attraction because that's what they sold it as.
Let's see this. This is lit. I'm not the only one, but this was what I wanted when it came to doing Encanto here. I wanted this.
Right.
Oops, sorry, I'm banging my mic.
To show up on the day where Mirabelle begins her trauma journey of self-discovery. Yeah. Great.
Cool. No, it'll be good.
But no, talking animals. You show up on the day that he gets his powers to talk to the animals. That's a fun moment.
Door, and we get to go into the door, and that's what's really cool. Now, here's what I really want. Here's my problem with the model. I don't see a spot for actual animals, and I'm concerned about that a little bit because you need some animals in South America. Like,
there will be no zoo enclosures over there. That means more infrastructure. That means more staff. It's not going to happen, man. Robot animals. It's all robot animals here.
My dream would be that there would be actual animals in the ride somehow. But I don't. I get it. It's never going to happen. But I need some real. Can I have this? I need a capybara enclosure where the alligator is now, or I just need a couple little. We need a couple real animals. It is. I
don't know, man. We'll talk about it.
It's not a zoo, but it's not a zoo. Are you?
It's not the zoo. I feel like it's racist to say that, Joe.
It does feel that way.
When I watch that commercial, I get really cringed out.
What do you think about Indy though?
Well, I'm really tickled actually because my worst fear was that they were going to drop a new indie ride into the area and it was just going to be the same attraction. It was going to be the Eye of Mara.
It literally could be. It could have been the Crystal Skull variation at Tokyo because that is themed to Mayan culture.
Yeah, but we're not. We're getting something different. It looks like we're getting like. And what was interesting was the tease that I heard in the announcement of it that the temple is haunted by or guarded by a mysterious creature, which it can't be snakes. It just can't be a snake. So what is going to be the mythical beast? I'm very excited about what could happen.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't want it to feel too much like Everest. But again, that's sort of what it was anyway. Like the Carnotaurus was another big thing to scare you. So
scare you.
That would be the end.
I'm excited.
Man, it's fine. So this concept art is just Indy holding a torch. I will literally I will clap and be so thrilled if we literally have Indy with a flamed torch. That would be the coolest.
Ooh, that's a good point. Yeah, that would be cool.
And that's not exactly. It's a little tricky to say the least. But that would be really, really cool. I don't know. I'm fine with this. Clearly.
The Mummy does it. The Mummy ride at Universal has flames.
Yeah, but not being held by an animatronic. I mean, this would be different. It'd be kind of cool. We'll see.
Sure. It'd be super cool. I also saw the Mummy ride also has all the skin of the mummies in that pop-up scare scene zip tied onto the frames over the silicone skin. I looked over. I wrote it a couple times just so I looked over. It's are those zip ties on those legs?
That ride is something jank. If you don't.
But the mystic animal, I'm very excited about.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It'll be interesting.
And it's the Spanish style town of it all. It's going to be a cool vibe. People are going to love it. It's going to be super popular there, man. People are going to be all over it. And that carousel.
Cool. We're so out of energy already. We're just
every park needs a carousel. I should say. I think that's smart. Every park should have a carousel. Give me a carousel where I ride film cells in Hollywood studios for all I care. But just give me a carousel because it just kids love it.
Triceratops spin, so it makes sense to have another variation.
Yeah, another rotating thing. Yeah, and it has a nice capacity carousels. So better than Triceratops spin.
You know what doesn't have capacity? A lounge connected to a large sphere.
Ooh, yes. What was this? Was like the Exxon Lounge or something like this? Like
Yeah,
the
just a
member, like
members
the
lounge
sponsor
over at
lounge. This existing lounge that was 100% supposed to be gutted
Yes,
and
it was.
destroyed in Epcot's remodel. And now, after a lot of backtracking and refurb, and they realized that they couldn't rip because most of this was asbestos, so they just had to paint over it. And so we have an asbestos lounge in Epcot. Come on down.
Which you won't be able to
and drink $45.
You won't be able to get
cocktails.
into it because it's gonna. They are like this is the casual lie of Epcot is you can go anywhere that you want, and then but they're always going to be cut off for corporate events. This former corporate lounge is once again a corporate lounge. Don't get yourself situated any other way, because you're going to be able to get in here and watch the fireworks from here. Yeah, I'm sure that it's just going to be available at any time.
It's like the castle suite. It's like, it's like we're building a hotel room in the castle. Yeah. None of you will ever be able to stay at it. Yeah.
I do like that they have a kind of beautifully lit up imagination pavilion in the background of this lounge image. And it might be the only thing that I've seen that looks like updated imagination pavilion anything. Because my man Nigel Channing, he's immortal. He's never going to die. He's never going to leave us.
No, he's immortal. I mean, he was safe. He was safe this year.
Once again.
But what wasn't safe at Epcot? Test Track.
Yeah, we knew that.
But we knew that. Test Track's already closed, so that wasn't a surprise.
2025, though.
And by the way,
that's
next year.
That's a quick turnaround, I think, overall.
Shovels and dirt, man. Shovels and dirt. Here's something I did not expect to see. An update to Smuggler's Run?
I didn't even put a picture of that in here because it just looks like Smuggler's Run, and that sucks and is boring. So
it makes me sad. I hope that they rotate like both missions eventually. Like I hope
start towards it. They should start towards it from day one.
Yeah, there should have been multiple missions from day one. But if I am not able to get the third piece of coaxium in the Mandalorian and Grogu integration, I'm going to be furious.
Man.
Give me that third piece of coaxium.
So bad in my life.
The biggest news.
This is
from the
my
entire
thing, I think.
D23 panel. I think the biggest news ever was Monsters Inc. roller coaster.
Cool.
A rumored attraction for 20 years. As long as Monsters Inc. has existed, this attraction has been rumored, and it looks like we finally got it. Looks like we're finally getting it. And that's exciting. That's the same animatronic piece. Someone just clearly traced the one from Superstar Limo, because that's exactly the same animatronic from Superstar Limo. But that's fine. That's cool. I'm okay with that. I'm not arguing. Just give me a door coaster. Dude, that sounds cool. I want to hit a few doors on the ride, though.
This is really cool. So you see they have the canisters at the top. Your screams are powering your own coaster, like is the concept here.
That's fun. That's really fun. Or laughter. Your laughter and joy could be fueling.
We'll see. Because technically this looks like it's pre.
Oh, yeah. Canonically, Boo's door is still intact. Boo
is there. So.
And Boo is there, right.
But we've also sort of mushed canon a little bit. If you've been to, was it Ride and Eek?
Any Disney theme park?
Tokyo's
canon means nothing.
Monsters Inc. ride happens at some point. But you're playing it's a little strange, but it's a blast. I love that ride, but doesn't make much sense.
Wow, a Scream powered roller coaster.
That's what it is, man. Clearly, and we have a model of it. They released this morning when we were recording.
Yes, this to Dan's rules of coaster enjoyment,
any enjoyment.
To Dan's rules of D23 enjoyment. If you don't show me a model, I don't believe you. So the fact that they have a model here is exciting,
and I have a concern, and that concern is this ride is going to go very quickly. I have a feeling this is
it's a 90-second Tron ride.
This is gonna go a lot quicker than I want it to. But what I will say is, okay, let's have a conversation about where this goes, because everyone's freaking out. Everyone's freaking out about Muppets. No,
I don't think it's going to go at Muppets.
You can't. You're going to have. They already showed the concept art in another piece. Harryhausen's is there. That's clearly going to be a restaurant. And they're going to have a gift shop, and they're going to have this.
And there's a playground.
Yes, there's a playground. So that's you. This building is too big to do. You could demolish Muppets, Mama Melrose, and Pizza Rizzo, and this wouldn't be enough space. Even Star Tours, not enough space. This is Rock and Roller Coaster.
You think
it can't? Animation Courtyard doesn't make sense to me. I mean, it does in the sense that I could see this at the end of Animation Courtyard. I don't know if there's enough space there.
Well, they'd have to level that office building.
So it's one or the other. Like for me, Aerosmith literally just retired, and no one, no one's like in love with Rock and Roller Coaster in the sense that it's
but it's a fully functional operating ride that
right. Buildings are cheap to put up. That's a great point.
Yeah. I don't know. Where Launch Bay is, I think, is a good option. But I thought Star Tours was going. I thought they were going to rip out Star Tours and not Muppet Courtyard, but kind of have it be around the corner from Muppet Courtyard and kind of still use the building facades of the leftover New York and just get rid of Star Tours and that restaurant and just slap it down over there.
Again, my map vibes are way off here, and I know it's not possible. But you remember the Pixar place, the Incredibles area. It seemed to me that could have somehow been utilized for this. It would have been nice to have sort of a Pixar side opposed to sort of bouncing around.
Yeah, well, Pixar Place is squished between Mickey and Minnie's.
You'd have to get rid of Mickey and Minnie's and move that somewhere. But this is a big coaster. This is not a little thing. So,
gonna be exciting.
Man, I'm excited about this. I love Monsters Incorporated. Doing great. No issues here.
Yeah, it looks like there's probably going to be a lot of mirrored walls too to make things look a lot bigger than they are.
For sure. That's it. That's everything.
Wow, we made it
in
through
2
all
hours,
of it.
Weirdly enough. I'm impressed. Yeah.
Well, less time than it took Disney to sing through 2 nights of news.
Yeah.
So many musical numbers.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about the show for 1 second. It was bad and not very fun. And guess what? It's not funny when you, the corporation, make the joke about fixing the Yeti. You can fix the Yeti.
No.
That's not a joke.
Yeah.
That is, you should be upset.
Remember this thing you guys would all love if we did?
Yeah.
Well, we're still not doing it. But Joe Rohde's back.
You make jokes about how expensive everything is. You can't make those jokes. It's not a joke. You put people in debt. Well, technically you don't, but the whole Deadpool thing felt absolutely flat for me. I hate that stuff. I hate it.
It was a little cringy. It feels like the people who love Minions and Stitch are going to keep that Deadpool kind of cringe alive. And God bless you if you're one of those people. I don't judge you, but I'm kind of reaching my limit on some Deadpool for now. At least.
Deadpool in spurts is always good. And I think that I just don't don't be self-aware. Don't be self-aware, Disney. You can't. Just be a theme park. Be a company and give a presentation. Don't have 2 guys coming out chuckling about how expensive a churro is. Shut up. Just what are you doing?
Right. Also, don't insult my intelligence by telling me that everything that you're about to announce is not blue sky, and then you're also saying that you're not going to start working on things for another 3 to 5 years.
Pardon anyone I trigger with this, but it does sort of feel like an abusive boyfriend. It really is like a, hey babe, I know last month was tough, but this time I've turned around.
Yeah.
Things are better now.
Yeah. It's well, no, you have to prove to me, you have to earn my trust back after all of these years of, you can't just tell me, guys, don't worry, you can trust me now.
We'll do all of this.
Oh.
I'm sure nothing will happen in the world. Yeah.
And I'm so glad I stayed up to 1 o'clock in the morning to get it all.
Man.
There were so many moments where I was just I would be standing at Universal watching the stream, be like, all right, I'm going to go jump on a ride. I hope I don't miss anything. And I get back off the ride and they're still in the musical number that I left with. I was like, well, I guess Orlando and 4 more events have really great no-wait ride times.
Buddy, Shabuzi's got to sing. We got to hear some Shabuzi. Everyone loves a Shabuzi.
What a night. And I hope that what is going to be really funny is the Legends panel tonight is going to be a 3-hour bloated musical number filled. They clearly had to justify charging $1,000.
I mean, they gave him an orchestra.
I'll
give them credit for this. This is far beyond it is the most entertaining entertainment thing that they've tried to do. Like, they've certainly put the money in it. I don't feel like they didn't do that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they definitely dumped a bunch of the money they charged us to participate in it into it, but like it was just kind of like we have to make it look like we put an effort into this thing, you know, like we have to.
And the absolute bulge that DeMauro got when talking about how there were 1 million people watching on Fortnite, I was like, calm down.
All I want someone to do is find Josh DeMauro and on camera ask him, "Hey, bro, what's your favorite Fortnite skin?" Because like I want to know I don't know what he mains as, A, and B, I got to make sure that I attack that guy every time I see him in the game.
you act like this guy has a clue what Fortnite is. It's very fun.
Speaking of fun, what are you doing for fun?
Well, I'm
Nathan?
not doing it anymore, but I'm preparing myself for Alien Romulus. So I'm going full Xeno crazy in the Hartman household. I'm watching some of the movies. I am reading some Alien comic books. And I played through one of my favorite games of all time again, which is Alien Isolation.
I hear that's a spooky game, dude.
Spooky game, and it doesn't get less spooky. And this time around, I played it with my noise-canceling headphones, and it was extra spooky.
I saw you showed a picture of that, all scared times. And with the lights on.
Yeah,
so I mean,
I
can't be that scary.
Baby. And so, but the game is incredible. If you've never played it, I guess someone told me that like on PlayStation, it's like $10 right now. Like it's a 10-year-old game, but it is so well crafted.
I remember when it came out,
incredible.
People loved it,
and the DLC is pretty quick. It doesn't take long to play through, but they do. If you love the original Alien movie, the DLCs all take place there with Ripley and all those characters. And it's fun if you want to walk around the Nostromo. That it's pretty rad. So I highly recommend that game. I think it's a blast. What about you? What are you up to? What are you doing for fun?
Well, I am about to drive back to Pennsylvania for fun for the second time this month. You know, it's interesting. I actually like driving to the parks. I think that there is a certain amount of like old America vacation that's lost on us now that we're just zipping and zapping around. And I love like the road and like the weird stuff that you find. And sure, there are like times you pull off and you're going to Buc-ee's. And you got to ride it all night long. There's sometimes you pull off and you're at a Buc-ee's and it's all polished and great, but then sometimes, man, you pull off into like a truck emporium that like you've never witnessed before, and the magic is there.
You could take a shower
and I get to listen to. Right, but I don't bathe in public that. So
it's pretty cool.
Usually,
you can just go take a shower.
So I'm going to be driving back with a secret project in my backseat, which I'm very excited to talk about. And I'm going to have the guy, I think I'd like to have the guy on who helped me do the secret project as a podcast guest, because he makes some really great stuff. But it's a secret project that none of you can know about.
So what you're doing for fun is driving? Is that what is that it?
I am. And people don't understand that I like it. I love taking a nap in my car. I feel like I am Ripley in the cocoon pod, you know, like I just kind of like put my hands in my pockets and I go
some
to
guy,
stasis
some
mode,
guy passes and goes, is that man dead? And then they kind of look at you for.
Yes. I've had many people knock on my window because I sleep with my mouth open, you know, and they're like, you know, or they think I'm on cocaine or something, you know, like some terrible drug.
Get those window shades, my man.
Passed out in my car. I have window shades. I have really tinted windows. About the car used with really tinted windows, but I got them. I got tinted windies. But no, I like driving.
Are you a podcast
I really do
driving
like
guy,
driving.
or are you an audiobook driving guy?
Well, you know what? It really depends. It really depends on my energy. I have YouTube Premium, which is the greatest form of YouTube. And through YouTube Premium, you're allowed to then listen to the audio of videos without the app being open. And so what I love to do then is just like pull up a playlist of like a bunch of lore videos. Like I listen to like a lot of like Lord of the Rings lore, or like, you know, I don't know, like X-Men. I just did a big deep dive driving down on Secret Wars because of the Doctor Doom reveal. I was like, oh, what is Secret Wars? So I listened to like 3 nerds, like 45-minute like, because all it is just like, I don't need to watch it. They're just, what are they showing me pictures of comic books? I need them to explain to me the story of what, you know, because I can't read the Wikipedia.
I mean,
while
who
driving.
would watch a couple of dudes talking about stuff? It'd be so stupid.
Right. No. Yeah. Seriously. If you're, well, no one's
YouTube,
listening this deep.
Christ.
They can listen on audio.
Hey, podcast.
Speaking of, head over to thedisneydan.com to find all the links to Fun. If you're listening as just an audio listener, thank you. If you're listening as a video listener, thank you. Leave some reviews for us. And also, I'm very interested, and if you're this deep in, leave a comment. We'll talk about it. What are you doing for fun? Leave me comments or visit me on the holy social medias. I love what you guys get up to for fun, because sometimes you're doing stuff I've never heard of. So I need to know more about fun things. So bring them on down to fun. And I hope you enjoyed the special, incredibly exhausted edition of Disney Dan talking about D23. Over the next couple of weeks, you're going to see an onslaught of interviews with me, talking to a lot of great people with a lot more energy. But I have been going nonstop, and I just thought it was about to be done, and it's not. I just am about to keep on going. So I just got invited by Disney on Ice to do something fun. So it just never stops, guys. Disney Dan keeps on Disney, and I just need to take a nap now. That's all.
This has been a production of 710 Media.